The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Apparently, it's not just me that could smell the 4-win season. Vegas agrees. We'll talk about that and more. Will Parkinson will make his return to the show as well. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Show number 2 on the day. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Reminder to get the show in podcast form. We're available on both Apple and Spotify, so take the show on the go. The YouTube show you're watching now, you can get the exact same thing, but in audio form, wherever you prefer to download your podcast. Leave a 5-star rating. That helps us as well if you want to support the channel on the audio side. Joining us right now to talk all things Jets is our guy, Will Parkinson, who I'm trying to convince to join me at Yankee Stadium tomorrow for opening day. Hello, Will.
How are we, sir? The Asman and the Asmaniacs, how are we?
We're good, Will. We're doing well. Everyone wants to know, are you coming to my draft party at Clinton Hall on April 24th?
I'm trying to work it out. I have a bachelor party. I'm just trying to determine what day I am leaving, if I am the 24th or the 25th for Scottsdale. So if I leave the 24th, no. But if I leave the 25th, I will be there.
There you go. And when you walk in, look, I don't know if it's going to be as big of a crowd pop as like Charles Gorman or Bobby Midnight who are going to be there, but it will be a pretty big crowd pop for you.
Hard to beat, listen, that's stiff competition.
Speaking of competition, Asmaniac Madness will continue on today's show. We're in the round of 32, Will. It's very exciting. And as things stand, we are on the precipice of completing the Hood Region round of 32. Earlier today, Neil defeated Leany in a close one, and that brings us to the matchup on this show right here. David T., the number 2 seed, taking on the number 7 seed, Purple Belt Mike. So stay tuned for voting on that. When the poll goes live, you vote to determine who will win. All right. I want to talk to you about something that came out right before our show. The Jets win total projection, courtesy of ESPN Bet. So this is right from Rich Samini's Twitter account. Their over-under win total for 2025 is 5.5. So Samini writes, no external expectations for Aaron Glenn and co. Only the Browns and Giants, both 4.5, are lower. Is this fair for the Jets to have the 3rd lowest win total projection as things stand right now, Will?
I mean, I don't think they're the 3rd worst team in the league. I would have probably put that line at maybe 7, or I guess it would have been 6.5, 7.5. I think realistically, you look at this team and as it stands, current roster, right? Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen in the draft and the rest of the offseason. Feels like between a 6 and an 8 win team, depending on special teams, quarterback play, coaching. Like, I think the biggest issue with projecting the Jets right now, and I'm sure I know you agree with this. I have no idea what Aaron Glenn is. He might be Bill Parcells reincarnated, Sean Payton, whatever. He might suck. I have no idea. I don't really know what Justin Fields is going to look like over a 17-game sample size with actual talent around him, because you'll go back to Chicago. They were an abject disaster. He was the guy, but he wasn't the guy, and the whole thing. And like, he has gotten better every year. They were starting to win some games in Pittsburgh. And look, they obviously wanted him back. They didn't guarantee him any money in year 2. The Jets did, et cetera, et cetera. I just look at it and I think, like, you could tell me they're a 4-win team, and I'd be like, I don't agree, but I guess I could see the thinking. And you could tell me they're a 9-win team, and I could be like, I see the thinking, because, hey, all these things happened last year. Defense, special teams, injuries. These guys didn't play well. Like, Jake, I think something we don't talk about enough with this team in terms of we talk about additions, subtractions, quarterback, coach, etc. How many guys on the Jets last year had a good year for their own standard? Not just the back of the baseball card, down year for Sauce. Michael Carter was hurt the whole year. And then all the DBs, and DJ Reed had a down year. Linebacker-wise, Quincy had a down year. Obviously, Sherwood played well. D-line-wise, like Jermaine was out the whole year. McDonald had a good year, so that's one guy, Sherwood and McDonald, but Quinn had a down year. Offensive line-wise, like Olu only got in a certain amount of games. I think he had the 4 starts. Simpson and Tippmann, yeah, good years. Like they're back to the baseball card, checks out. AVT generally checked out. I think he played really well, but again, first year back. Garrett, I would argue Garrett was better the year before as a full totality of a season. And that's something to do with Rodgers, something to do with Garrett, something to do with a lot of different things. And Brees, obviously, very much a down year, in my opinion. So it's you like projecting both guys. Can they get back to the back of the baseball card or football card, whatever? And then on top of that, can Glenn help you? Can you get some impact from your rookies? Can Cisco be an upgrade? Can Stevens play 75, 80% of Reed? But like Carter back and Sauce playing well, you're net even. Jake, I say all that to say, like, if you ask me gun to my head right now before the draft, they're probably more like a 7-win team. I'm not ready to go to 9 wins. I'll probably get there by camp and say, hey, coaching, as I mentioned, guys playing better, schedule, you go through the whole thing. Could I see them going to 9 games? Yeah, I could. I feel better about some spots. I feel less good about others. But yeah, you go add a Membu and you address the offensive line. You have this elite offensive line, and you give Fields the opportunity to have this good running game, and like the defense bounces back and all that stuff. Hey, you could see it. But I think a lot of where you're at, and I respect that. Like a lot of people are probably in the same boat of like, show me, don't tell me. And right now, I'd honestly rather the Jets be a team that everyone's like they suck than the hype train, because if they win a couple games early on, your show, my show, etc., will be people extremely excited about what the future holds.
They definitely need to get out to a good start. I think that is really important for this regime. I think you and I were talking about this at the Combine right after Muji and Glenn spoke, I remember. So
normally in a first year, you kind of like, hey, you have all the leeway to like dick around. They don't have that just because of where they're at from a franchise perspective. Like, it's just a reality. Like, 3-14 is not going to get it done next year. Like, it's just not. I've said it a million times.
Neither is 5-12, to be honest. Like, yeah, like that's not good enough either.
Especially because then you're saying, hey, it's hard to gauge how much is coaching worth. Yeah, you lost some talented guys for sure. But
to me, the roster is worse now than it was at the end of last year. But the coaching, it's tough to imagine it being
should
worse.
Be significantly better. Just
right,
like Glenn being an average NFL head coach compared to what Jeff Ulbrich was for 14 or 13 games, or 12 games. Like, he's one of the. I like Jeff, and like I was excited about it. Full stop. So I thought, hey, this is what they need. Like,
I think we all did. He did a great job of making us feel like he was ready to be a head coach when the reality it wasn't.
Super intense. I'm like, dude. Whoa, like here we go. And
I fell for it. Yeah.
Objectively, Jake, like he was way worse than Gase for 12 games.
Oh, 100%. Dude, if you gave Adam Gase the 2025 New York Jets, they win way more than 5 games. Now, I'm not saying they're good, but like that was like Adam Gase went 7-9 his first year with the Jets. Now they started 1-7 and they beat some bad teams, but the Jeff Ulbrich Jets were the worst coached team I have ever seen in my lifetime watching football.
Yeah, they just kind of looked like they showed up on Sundays and were like, hey, whatever happens. And it's like, yeah, like I said, like I wouldn't sit here and crush people for feeling like they're not going to be very good. I get it. I've been frustrated at points this offseason where I just feel like I'm not sitting here you want to win the offseason and all that stuff. I get it. I just feel like there's been times, and everyone gave me a hard time because obviously I've had Conklin on my show, but it wasn't about Tyler Conklin. It was a 1-year, $3 million deal that surely would have at least been like, hey, we go Warren at 7 or we don't. We go Mason Taylor at 42, whatever it may be. You pick your poison in the draft. Like this guy at the day one of camp doesn't have the expectations that he has to like know the playbook through and through to be the number one guy. And he can ease himself into like we get closer and closer to the opener and he overtakes him and he's the number one. And like just like having some veteran leadership in there. And feel like there's a couple spots where that and receiver where I'm just like, hey man, like I wouldn't, I don't know, like how much does Tyler Lockett have left? I'm not sure, but I'll tell you, for a 1-year deal to provide just an outlet of like this veteran presence in there that can kind of take some of the pressure off Garrett. And people were like, hey, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, Jake, you know this. Having a guy that can sit up there as a veteran in the locker room and answer questions pre and post game and during the week and kind of take some of the pressure off some of these young guys that are trying to establish themselves as leaders and legit like dudes in the league. I think, that's important. Like Tyler Lockett being able to be like, hey, Tyler Lockett does press during the week. He's going to be the guy talking after games, and like allow Garrett to just go play ball and have a year where like, I don't know, maybe I'm being too soft on him, these guys, but I feel like as much as you want the young roster, the high upside, and hey, if it blows up, all these guys are going anyways. We'll have all this cap space and, all these different things. I just feel like even like it's just nice to have, like, don't you feel so much better about quarterback knowing, hey, if Fields sucks one week and everyone's freaking out, at least you have Tyrod, or vice versa. Tyrod was your starter and you had a back. It just, I don't know. I like being able to not, they needed 3 to 4 starters out of this draft, which is.
Well, that's my thing, Will.
Yeah.
They put themselves in a spot. Like
they have home runs.
They have to hit on their 7th pick for sure. 42 is a high second, and 73, which is now 20 spots higher than we anticipated. That's a starting level player you're taking at 73 based on how they've operated. And I understand some of their approach to the offseason, but I'm sorry, every player does not need to be from the dollar player store. And that's why I joke about smelling 4 wins, because this roster has not gotten better. They have, to me, downgraded that quarterback. I know there's debate there, but we don't have a right tackle right now. We have no tight ends. There's one legitimate wide receiver on this team in Garrett, and that's it. I mean, the defensive tackles they've signed are depth guys. If we're lucky, one of them can maybe hit and be decent. Like they're putting a lot of we're putting all our hopes in Glenn being awesome. Like he's Tomlin. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They're just going to play hard and win games.
Yeah.
And Muji and Glenn's ability to basically knock this draft out of the park. Like that's what has to happen.
They probably even need a roster contributor out of their pro free agent, the pro free agent, like undrafted guys. Like they need a blue chipper at 7, wherever they pick. They need a starter that's a good quality starter at 42, and they need a guy who can start games year 1 at 73.
Yep.
After that, again, you can start taking some dart throws, and you hope you hit a one. Like Joe and Connor have mentioned the 2006 draft, and obviously we were all around for the 2022 draft. They kind of need a lot of what 2006 provided, which was stability in the trenches. They were able to add multiple playmakers. They added a safety. Like, can they have a 2006 draft? Maybe. That'd be fantastic. That would go a long way of combining 2006 and 2022, very similar to combining 2000, 2002, and 2006 for the Jets. That kind of
also,
took them.
Will, think about this for a second, right? So based on how they've approached free agency and based on what we know about this draft, they're likely not taking a wide receiver at 7. So the Jets are going to have to do something they have not done in all likelihood since when? They're going to have to hit on a wide receiver in the 2nd or 3rd round. They can't draft another Denzel Mims or Elijah Moore or Stephen Hill or Devin Smith or Malachi Corley. They need to hit on a skill position player. It can't be Jason Morrow. Let's say they take Membu at 7. Their plans to take a tight end in the 2nd round. Like they have to hit on these guys. Like that is the only way Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn could find a way to get this offense to not look like dog crap. Unless Fields is just amazing and he goes full Darnold or Baker Mayfield, which would be awesome, but you can't bank on that. Like they really have to hit on these picks in the draft.
Yeah, like the more I think about it, I think I like 3 different scenarios, I guess. We'll see how it shakes out. But if you like Warren at 7, I think Warren, D tackle or receiver, and then I don't know, like I could convince myself of going full offense the first 3 picks and going Tyler Warren at 7, Jack Besh at 42, and Ozzie Trapello, who would be your starting right tackle out of BC and at pick 73. And it's like, boom, like here we go. And then you use a lot of the remaining picks on defense and defensive tackle and safety and corner and linebacker. Like, sure, like I fully on board with that. If you want to go offensive line and go full trenches, I know, Connor did his 3-round mock and it was, I think he had Warren, but then he had, Tyleik Williams and what's his name out of Georgia? My boy Tate. Is it going Membu at 7, Alfred Collins at 42, and it's like, hey, we're going full trenches, and then you finally get to receiver and tight end at 73. Like, all those are fair things. The thing is, it's kind of a game of Tetris. Like, I just would have liked to address one of those 4 needs that are still available, that are still very much, an issue. One of those 4 in free agency. I'm not saying they should have overpaid and gave Josh Palmer $20 million a year, but it would have been nice to be like, hey, our number 2 receiver is taken care of. We don't have to take a receiver, and we can get a specialized number 3 guy, and him and Corley, you hope one of those guys is decent. And that could be your number 3, the guy we signed to Garrett. Like, that's a decent group. Or, we don't need to take a tight end at 7 because we have confident tight ends at the roster, and we'll take a dart throw on day, around at pick 73. I just feel like right now it's Membu, Graham, or Warren is pretty much the common pick with everybody. And we haven't talked that much about edge, and no one wants to hear about this, but like, I'm sorry. Like, I love Jalen Walker and Shamar Stewart. I'd be so thrilled if the Jets took him. I'd probably be the only person in Jets land that'd be happy with either of those picks. The problem is, like, I get why people would be frustrated. They're like, dude, how are we taking an edge rusher? We have no other receivers outside of Garrett. That's where the roster will look better in 3 months for sure. But it's really difficult to be like, you can't expect everybody to be healthy and hit in one season. Like, it's got to be, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, Jake, I just feel like it's like the Yankees every year in a lot of ways where it's like, hey, we're expecting, like, if we get 162 out of this guy, it's like, well, you're never going to get 162 out of that guy. So you have to prepare like you're not going to. And their depth's better, but their top-end talent's certainly not as good.
It's just hypocritical when they say we're trying to win now and going forward, and they've operated the way they have this offseason. And I don't want to hear like we're building it the right, like the Jets have always spun
building it the right way. Spare me with that.
Please, like, win games. Seriously, this fan base is rightfully pissed off. This is probably the worst offseason from a morale standpoint that I've ever experienced as a Jet fan. Like, typically we're all optimistic, and no matter what, the team could be awful, and we find a way to still spin it positive. Like, here we go. And I'm normally as optimistic as they come, and it's just beating me down. Like, I see this 5.5 come out today. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. They're not very good right now.
I honestly am good with this because the Jets have made a pretty clear motion. They want to be out of the news, and they've relatively done actually a decent job. I feel like I'm hoping this is a 2006, even to some extent, 2008, 2009 situation. I know they're very different teams in terms of all have different kind of, maybe it's 2015, even 20, is it 2017 or whatever it was, where they like started out, decent, even, in 18, obviously Sam's rookie year, they started out decent. Like, I want to make sure that I'm very curious, I guess, Jake, and I tried to ask this at the combine, and obviously, they don't answer questions, but what is an Aaron Glenn player going to look like? Because so far we've seen everybody they've signed is between 24 and 27, which is a good strategy, by the way, in free agency. All 1-year deals essentially, except for Stevens, which, again, I'm not mad at signing Brandon Stevens. I just felt like he didn't need to be a day one, their biggest signing of free agency guy.
You do realize if Joe Douglas made that same signing, he would be getting destroyed by everyone, but because it's Muji and Glenn and they're new, they're still getting that benefit of the doubt.
Well, you never know. Joe Douglas has got some elite. I don't know if they're his bots or someone's bots, but anytime you tweet anything about Joe Douglas, like, you get a bunch of people be like, he sucks, and then there will be these bots with no picture and 92 letters in their account. Be like, well, you do know his score on draft picks. I'm like, thanks, dude. I have eyes as well. They never won more than 7 games. Can't possibly be a good GM if that's the case.
You realize this franchise, and I said this to someone that works for the Jets when you and I were in Indy, they have not won more than 7 games in a decade. And this person goes, wow, I didn't realize it's been that bad. Like by accident, you could stumble into a 9-8 season nowadays.
They almost did it in 2022. That's what, Jake, I actually wonder, is the real year to comp 2022? Is that really the year that we have to look at and say, is this what is this year going to be what that Jets team was supposed to be? And like, they can finish the job in terms of getting into the playoffs, where defense should be vastly improved. Should be a really good unit. Special teams, you hope you get a really good unit out of. You have a creative play caller that can get the most out of a quarterback. Can you get the most out of a quarterback to be mistake-free, create some big plays, Garrett, Brees, etc. Like, again, that team only won 7 games because Zach Wilson, pooped down his pants for like the majority of the season. But after the New England game, but can this team with better coaching and not Zach Wilson and the whole thing, can they get to 9 wins? They end the playoff drought, and it's like, cool. We don't have to talk about that anymore. Now we have to talk about the 3 to 4 moves, big moves they have to make to go, be a team that can truly compete again. So again, maybe it's a pipe dream, but that might be the year to like kind of go back to, because you look back at the roster and it's like, in a lot of ways, it is some similarities to the roster.
They need some more dogs on the roster. That's what your dog is trying to tell you there.
Yeah. Prez and Jamal Adams. We need some more dogs in this locker.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're talking with Will Parkinson, Turn on the Jets podcast host, part of the Badlands Network. I'll be seeing Will at the Badlands live event, which here's all I know about that event, Will. Joe texted me, hey, you're going to interview Connor and I in front of everyone on the stage. I said, okay, cool. That's all I know.
Yeah, I think there's like 260-ish people. We've almost hit a fire code in the bar. Will be exciting. It'll be a lot of fun. There's 3 alcohol sponsors, so we will consume plenty of adult beverages at the event.
What we're going to do right now is remind people that if you want a chance to win some epic prizes, you got to gift the membership. Will, you're going to love the theme this week. It's 2010 Jets. Sign Revis helmet. Sign Rex helmet. Sign Bart Scott jersey. Signed Tone Time helmet. Signed Cromartie helmet. And we added it 2 days ago, our 6th prize. Signed Mangled jersey. Gift the membership to be in, or send in a $20 super chat for 5 raffle entries. Chino says, I just got my jersey, Jake. Thanks for it. And the bonus has Maniac goodies. I appreciate it. Chino, I'm glad you got your raffle prize, man. And thanks for all your support. Comments, questions, super chats, we'll cut the line. June writes in, Jake is normally optimistic. I haven't really noticed that. Perhaps I joined at the wrong time. June, you've been watching the show for what, 3 months? Ask Will how optimistic him and I normally are when we talk about this team every offseason and then every summer when we're at training camp, and we fall for it every time.
Yeah, I've been getting crushed for being like trying to be pragmatic. I can't always. Sometimes you got to like take a step back, and I'm like I said, I'm sure I'm going to talk myself into 9 wins. Like I'm going to. I'm just being honest. Like it's going to happen.
9-8, sneak into the playoffs. Aaron Glenn, coach of the year.
Coach of the year, and you trade up for the quarterback, and Fields is your bridge guy, and you go out and you signed Kirby Joseph, and I don't know. I just, like I said, I think this team is going to be better than people think, but rightfully so, and I think it's totally understandable. Many people, everyone you ask around the league, I think everyone's in the same thing with the Jets right now. It's just show me, don't tell me at this point, and I think that's an entirely fair way to evaluate this regime is show me, don't tell me. That's the way they're operating. They're not saying much, and that's okay. I'd rather them start winning games, and then we hear more of the mantras and the whole thing, and the drag them to deep water, and be the Raven, not the Hawk, and whatever the stupid thing was. Like at this point, like I think more people want to just see go put on a good show on Sundays, and win or lose. I know people don't want to hear this, not to sound like corny Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, but like, can the Jets be in every game and not get walked over once this year? Like that's what I want. I know this is a crazy low bar. I'd really enjoy seeing the Jets for 17 straight games be a team that people hate playing against. Hate. I'm not asking them to win the Super Bowl. I want to see them play extremely hard. I want to see them be a team that, like, you're going to, Jake, the 2021 Lions, I believe, or 2022 Lions, I apologize. 9-8, didn't make the playoffs, but you felt damn good. They were a horrible team to have to play every week. You left that game. Most of your team was injured because they beat the crap out of you. They hadn't really learned how to win yet, and they started to figure it out. And then all of a sudden, they obviously steam into the last 2 years, and title game should have been the Super Bowl, and then this year #1 seed. So like I said, I maybe it's high hopes, but like I want to see this team be like, I want the team to care as much as the fans do, and I don't feel like they did last year, and I'm hoping with a new regime, new buy-in, et cetera, like you so corny and Jake and cheesy, but it does the Knicks teams and the Yankees and Mets teams and the Jets and Giants teams, whatever, that like represent the city in the way of like, dude, we know how much you guys care and we're going to act like it. That to me would be a nice start amongst anything else.
I'll tell you what else is nice. The memberships that are flying off the shelves. We start with David Atkins, who gifted a membership. Thank you, David. And then Robert Morris, not from the school, but from Ithaca College. That Robert Morris. He's dropping 5, baby, for the people. Uno Jets also in the Asmaniac raffle for 5. Will, I want you to pay close attention to the screen right now, because this is how we're going to celebrate 11 memberships being gifted all at once. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. If you hear your name called, you thank the following 3 people. David Atkins, who gifted Grande, and these are the 5 now from Robert Morris. Andrew Shatner. That's a real name. Kevin Callaghan. Frank Constantino. He was asking for a membership in the comments. You ask, you receive, Frank. Black Jesus. Tasso Manelis. All receiving memberships there. And then I got 5 more from Uno here in our raffle. Mr. Papa Giorgio, Mr. Jet Skis, Boba Bombs, and Frank all getting a membership, plus Alscar Capone in on the Asmaniac raffle for 5 more. Appreciate everyone gifting. Before we ask Will more questions about the draft, because I want his thoughts on the big debate at 7, let's get to Asmaniac Madness. PBM, the 7 seed, David T, the 2 seed. They're going at it. Ladies and gentlemen, the way this works is easy. You vote, and whoever has more votes at the end of the show advances to the Sweet 16. So let's hand things over to Jim Nance to get this matchup underway.
It's time for Asmaniac Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top Asmaniac for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
PBM trying to buy votes, perhaps. He just gifted 5 channel memberships as Asmaniac Madness officially gets underway. Shout out to PBM for that. Let's see. Good vibes. Jeffrey Mann, Raymond T, MK, all receiving memberships. Soups a lot also in there. Oh, we got more. Lawrence Hobbs has gifted a membership. Vinny has gifted a membership. Everybody wants in on the next Asmaniac raffle. Love it. All right, Will, as far as the pick at 7, right now, gun to your head, who is the player the Jets select at 7? And then I have some follow-up questions based on that answer.
Jackson? No, I'm just kidding. I would say, gun to my head right now, I think they picked Tyler Warren.
Really? Over the offensive tackle, Armin Membu? Because I think I want them to pick Warren, but they've done the opposite of basically everything I've wanted this entire offseason. So I'm fully expecting Membu to be
well, then if that's the case, they're taking Jackson Dart. They're going to trade up for Dart.
So Membu, I wouldn't criticize him for. I would understand. Dart would cause me to really do I'm concerned about my my well-being, especially being in a very public setting at this draft party. If they take Jackson Dart at 7,
I think to me the reason you would be Warren obviously is a complete player. I think I look to it and think if you address Warren, right? I think there's a lot of really good tight ends in this class. So I love Mason Taylor. I love Jackson Hawes on day 3. Like there's certain guys, Terrence Ferguson, another one, Elijah Roy. Like there's a lot of guys. But Warren is such a complete player and can do so many different things that be really good in the run game. He can help out whoever your right tackle is, whether that's a rookie, whether that's you go AVT, whether you go don't go Chukwuekorfor for. But the point being, he could help you out in the run and pass game, provide a weapon there, and then you come back with tackle in round 2, or you come back. Jake, one thing I haven't heard a lot of people say, but if Josh Connerly's sitting there at pick 25, 26, which I think he will, I'm looking to trade up and say, hey, Warren and Connerly, and I'm good leaving, and I get one or two more guys. I'm good leaving this draft with just 4 awesome dudes. And Connerly's our starting day 1 right tackle. He's in his natural spot. We have Warren. The offensive line solidified. Tight end solidified. We get one more receiver and whatever it may be.
This is the mock I did today on the show. We got Connerly at pick 42.
Jack Besh is still there at 73. I'd be surprised.
Yep.
But
I wanted Warren, by the way. Our debate this morning with Cole Thompson and I was either Graham or Warren. He wanted Graham, so we went with Graham for the scenario here.
Graham's going to be there. I feel like he's going to go to Jacksonville. That's just kind of it just makes sense. But
so who would you take, though? Because that was one of my follow-ups here. You're saying you think they take Warren. If Graham is there, are they going Graham or Warren?
I'd rather take an offensive player. I don't know.
Would they take Graham, though? Because I agree. I want offense. I'm tired of I think
Graham's a really good player. Graham, I'd be okay with it because he's a really good player, and I think him next to Quinnen, McDonald, and Jermaine, that's a really great core group, and you should get the best out of Quinnen, and Graham should be able to be freed up. I guess where I struggle with from that perspective is just I don't know, Graham's not my favorite defensive player in the draft, so I struggle with taking a guy positionally it makes sense, but I just feel like tight end and tackle, I'd like to see them figure it out. I'd rather see them get overly aggressive and go trade up for Travis Hunter or something than sit at 7 and take a guy where you're yeah, we like him. Have some damn conviction with whatever you do. I think we talked about this with quarterback, Jake. If Fields was your guy, and this is credit to them, they were Fields is our guy. We know that we need to get somebody in addition to Tyrod. We cannot go into the season with just a rookie and him. We're going to go get him. And they did. And I was you know what? Cool. That. I'm totally good with that. Again, I like Graham. I think Warren and Membo, apparently it's Membo, by the way.
It's not Membo.
I learned, actually, shout out to my brother, texted me and was it's pronounced Membo, like Bo Nix.
I've been saying the right thing. Great.
Yeah, I might be the only person because I've been botching it as well.
Well, remember, everyone last year was saying
Olu Fashanu. It's Olu
Fashanu. Yeah, but it's Fashanu. Yeah, that was the big thing.
Where everyone, we all suck. I don't know. I just look at it, Jake, and I just feel if Membo is there, and from a Warren perspective, I'm not saying you have to love Warren and be he's Brock Bowers. He's a different player, but I actually feel the Jets kind of need the different player.
I need an inline tight end, and he's the one guy that can block. And but the thing that stands out to me about Warren is that Daniel Jeremiah is it's like having an extra offensive lineman out there. So if you're a little concerned about right tackle, all right, you're drafting Tyler Warren, who could help you there, and he's someone that Fields can rely on over the middle. And that's if you watch the Fields film, and we did on the show, he's throwing a Freiermuth all the time. He's throwing a Cole Kmet in Chicago all the time.
Every single highlight of Justin Fields is running or throwing a Cole Kmet or DJ Moore.
That's it.
And also, it would be nice. I'm not saying this couldn't happen if you took Mason Taylor at 42 or Ferguson or any of these guys, but it would be really nice to going forward. You feel good about Glenn. You feel good about a core group on defense of whether it's Jermaine, Quint, whatever. Pick your 4 on defense. I think there's more than 4 you could pick from, but just say you pick your 4. And then offense, you go, we have a really good group of offensive linemen, and we have a core group of Garrett, Warren, and then however you feel about Brees. And you can kind of just build around that. And each year you can kind of add pieces to each thing. It'd be nice to have a core, stable group of skill guys on both sides of the football and trench guys on both sides of the football that are in their prime or entering their prime you feel good about. And again, you could do that other ways. It doesn't have to be Warren at 7, but I would be really intrigued and interested to see what Warren would look like in this offense. I think he could be extremely successful.
Yeah, I would love it.
I feel like we talked about the win total before, Jake, and I don't know if it's not all about season tickets and jersey sales, but I do think there'd be something that'd be really nice about what if they went Warren and Besh back to back? And it's dude, we have 2 young skill players we can get excited about on Sundays and watch them catch the football along with Garrett and Brees. You start to get a little bit more excited on game days to go watch these young guys, see what they can do. I'm not saying it's always the right pick, but it would probably be the most fun of the most realistic picks. Obviously, Hunter would be the most fun pick, but I just don't see how that's possibly happening.
Yeah, to me, it would be just at this point, it would logical. You need weapons. They don't have anyone who could catch the football besides Garrett. And look, you can't say, if he gets hurt, you're screwed. But Garrett Wilson, if he gets hurt, that's what are they doing at that point? You have nobody. Allen Lazard's not going to be on this team. I don't care what is put out there. I think they're just waiting for Rodgers to sign with the Steelers, and they'll see if they can get a 7th round pick for the guy. That's what I think.
Yeah, I really am hoping what I'd like to see the Jets do. They did this with Zach Wilson last year, so to Joe Douglas's credit, gave Joe Douglas credit. If and when Rodgers goes either spot, by the way. If he ends up in Pittsburgh, which we all assume he's going to, you're not getting Alan Lazard for free. We want your 5th round pick for Lazard in our 6th. We want whatever it may be. Like, I'd like to see the Jets move up. I'd like to see them do this in general. Connor talked about this a little bit, and I've talked about this a bunch as well. Like, I don't know. I'd like to see them package a 4 and a 5 to get it back up in an extra round 3 pick. I'd like to see them take 2 of their 5s to get back up in a round 4. Like, I want the Jets to have as many good players on this roster as they can, and I'd rather them have 5 guys they feel great about than just take 9 guys to take 9 guys. Like, that to me does not. We've seen that movie. I don't know that that's the way you do things. Like, I'd like to see what it would look like if they could get. They need to address 2 trench players in the first 4 rounds, I would say, and 2 skill guys. You could argue Warren is kind of a combination of both. I think one of Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, or Jack Besh at 42, if you want a receiver. And I think, look, and again, maybe Emeka Ibuka falls. And it's like, hey, we're going to just build the entire Ohio State team. Or maybe it's Tyleek Williams, or maybe it's Alfred Collins. Like, there's a lot of good players at 42, Jake. Like, we're going to be sitting here Friday morning after the draft. Let's just say the Jets go Warren or Membo. It doesn't matter. We're going to be sitting there going, ooh, should the Jets trade up from 42 to 34? Like, there's 8 guys we love. What are they going to end up with? It's going to feel a little like 2022 in that sense, where like the top of that second round was still unbelievable. Same with 2021. So we'll see. But I think Warren's probably my favorite at the moment. I don't even know if Membo is going to be there, to be honest. Like, he very easily could go 4.
That's what Mike Tannenbaum sees happening in his GM mock. I talked about on the show. I think it was yesterday. Now, Tannenbaum had the Jets taking Will Campbell at 7. How do you feel about Campbell? Because I know there's a lot about, his arm length is not long, and that's good. But I know he like ripped into people ripping him for that after his pro day today. To me, if the Jets think Will Campbell's
arms are obviously way shorter than they. Yeah, it's a trigger for him. You know, he's triggered.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I don't care what size his arm is when you watch him. I mean, no one was talking about his arm length until this time of year. So what do you make of that and him being a potential option at 7? If they do want to go lineman, say Membu, to your point, is already off the board.
Yeah, so the reason Membu to me makes the most sense is that he's a natural right tackle. The Jets have a natural right tackle need. There's no moving of positions. He just slots right in, and you're good to go. Campbell's a natural left tackle. That's what we've seen him do. So you're either moving him positionally to another tackle spot. And it's not just the arm length, Jake. It's the wingspan's terrible too. He's got like he doesn't have broad shoulders. And he does struggle a little bit against speed. Again, really good player, top 15 player in the class, probably closer to a top 10 player. Like, there's no doubting any of that stuff. But my issue is, like, are you moving him to guard and ADT to tackle? Are you moving Will Campbell to right tackle and asking him to learn a new position? Like, what are you doing with, like, that's part of my question is what's the plan with him? I just don't love drafting a guy to move him positionally in the top 10. Not saying that if they drafted Will Campbell, it'd be like, hey, they got a really high floor prospect. Not sure of the ceiling, but really high floor prospect. They're going to have a really good offensive line. They'll figure it out. Again, I think Campbell's a damn good player. I just am not sure he's going to be like elite. And if you're moving a guy that you're not sure is going to be elite, I just have some slight questions. Not major, like wouldn't crush the pick at all. Just would be like a little, like, yeah, interesting. Like, what's the plan here? I would hope that'd be the first question that they would ask, Bougie and Glenn on draft night.
I know Connor Rogers has talked about this. I'm on board with it. I think they should put AVT at right tackle, and then I think that gives them a lot more options in this draft. I think it sets up a potential trade back. It sets up taking Warren and then being able to say, hey, we'll find a starting guard on day 2. And there's some really good guards that you can get in the 2nd or 3rd round in this class. Like, if you go Warren, you take a receiver and then a guard, and you go offense your first 3 picks, or a combination of Warren, a tight end, and then like a receiver or something like that. Like, I feel like I feel like there are more avenues for the Jets to quote unquote get their best 5 on the field if they just need to find a guard in the draft rather than go into it being like, we're trying to get our right tackle at pick 7.
Yeah, I honestly agree. Like, To me,
like AVT could do it. And I don't buy the idea he got hurt because he played tackle. He's been hurt every year of his career. He just might be an injury-prone player.
he got hurt last year too, by the way.
Yeah, and he missed a couple games. And guess what? He came back and was still solid, and I think he'll be even better this year, another year removed from the Achilles. And he's going into a contract year. I'm sure he wants to be paid a lot of money. I mean, if you're going to extend him, you're already paying him on the fifth-year option. Like, he's one of the highest paid guards in the league. At that rate, like cost efficiency-wise, if Muji wants to keep doing the money ball stuff, it probably makes sense to play AVT at right tackle. And bare minimum, you sign Josh Myers for $3 million, he could be your right guard for a year.
Yeah, Look, I think there's a lot of different things they could do. I think they need to address the trenches in the top 75 pick on the offensive line. I think you do that. You mix it with, again, Chuks Okorafor is your sixth offensive lineman. Totally fine. I don't want him being the day one starter. Josh Myers as your, I don't love being your starter, but I think it's palatable. I look at it as like if you drafted, I don't know, Tate Ratledge or like as Connor has him in the third round, or in the second round, you take, I don't know, Gray Zabel somehow falls to 42. He's not going to fall to 42, but just say he did. And you take Gray Zabel and he's him and Tippmann and Simpson are, your core group inside, and you play AVT outside. The only thing with AVT, the two things is he going to be confident in himself that he's going to be able to stay healthy and do it? And if that, you could check that box and all the Jets doctors and everyone says he's good to go, sure. If there's any hesitation, don't do it. But yeah, obviously, it'd be nice to be able to have, it would just like, that's again, like I would say this about Conklin, and I said this about Moses. I was never saying these guys are like, they're so good, they have to be here. It's not even about that. It was like the veterans in the locker room, but more importantly, they gave you stability and flexibility. You didn't have a glaring hole at that spot. Just at least for the time being, where you could bring a guy along slowly, is like, pick 73. They would eventually, you'd hope, would start over Moses, right? But it would have been nice to have Moses back to be able to, again, the Patriots probably overpaid him and the whole thing, and his body was starting to fail. But you know what I'm saying, Jake? I just feel like that would have been a nice ceiling or a nice floor to have. Unfortunately, not the case. But now my dog's just going to start barking. It's unbelievable.
Your dog wants AVT at tackle as well. It's clear.
He is fully on the AVT at right tackle situation.
Final question, Will. It keeps getting put out there. McShay is adding a lot of gas to that fire, talking about Dart, saying on his podcast he's hearing all the rumblings of how much the Jets like him. He emphasized maybe not necessarily at 7, but maybe they trade back into round 1 for him. Do you see the Jets going after Jackson Dart in this draft?
Maybe at 42. I think he'll be a first round pick, and I think Dart's got some nice qualities. I think he's a guy that certainly has some potential in the league. I just am not sure how it fits into the way the Jets have built the quarterback room now. I just don't know. Is he the best fit? Is that the right thing to do? Like, I don't want to overdraft somebody. So yeah, I think he's a guy that goes in the top 25. And I mentioned, I mentioned him going to the. I think Mike T had this too. I mentioned him going to the Rams. I think it's the perfect situation for him. Like, go to McVay, you sit for a year behind Stafford. Stafford probably walks away, and he walks into like a perfect situation for any young quarterback to walk into. Very similar to what Jalen Hurts walked into. I know that's the comp for a lot of people. Very similar kind of situation to walk into. So yeah, I think he's better than a lot of people want to give him credit for, but I just don't know if he's the right fit for the Jets at the present moment.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Will, maybe I'll see you tomorrow, but I will definitely see you at the Badlands event, and hopefully,
absolutely,
the Clinton Hall party, baby. It's happening.
Yeah. Clinton Hall, baby. The ASMANIACs.
Get excited, Will. I can see the enthusiasm on your face.
We're ready to roll,
ladies and gentlemen. Will Parkinson, TOJ Pod, Jet fans, Badlands, the whole thing. All right, some super chats here. Tiff writes in, get me in the raffle, please. Well, Tiff, I have some unfortunate news for you. $20 super chat will get you 5 raffle tickets. But Tiff, I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to put you in the raffle because I will gift the remaining memberships to get you in there. So that will be coming up. We will get you in, Tiff, for 4. Daryl Stevens says, Jets will never get any respect until they win. I want Warren. I feel would open up the offense. Do you like the way they're building this team? Sometimes it's more about how the team gels. I don't love the way they're building this team so far. I like a couple of the signings. I thought if they were going to move on from Rodgers, Fields made the most sense. So I'm on board with that. The Cisco signing is intriguing. But at the same time, I would have just paid Javon Holland, who was a better player and didn't cost as much as they were projecting. What am I really being excited about? Like the Stone Smart signing? Like, it's a flyer. Like, maybe he could be good. I don't know. He's young. I'm not banking on him, though. One of the other moves, I'm going to be excited about the receiver they signed, Tyler Johnson. Free agency's been a big dud. Let's call it for what it is. Brandon Stevens, I think that signing, if Joe Douglas made that, he'd be tarred and feathered. But because Aaron Glenn and Muji are new, the fan base is like, all right, well, we'll see. I mean, look at the amount of one-year deals they've given out. Other than Fields and Stevens, every player they've signed has been a one-year deal. I think the Derek Nandi signing is a good deal. 1 year, $1.4 million fine. Rashad Weaver, 1 year, $1.2 million. None of it's guaranteed. He's probably not on the team. DJ Tufuli, I don't even know how to say the guy's name. 1 year, $1.2 million. Chris Boyd, the guy who's known for shoving his special teams coordinator in the middle of a playoff game with the Texans last year. I don't like the way they built this team at all. That's why I smell 4 wins. That's why I laugh. My first reaction, instead of being angry and defending the Jets like it used to be when I saw this today, was, yeah, this is probably right. I'd bet the under on the win total right now. Now, I'm not going to say they can't be better than that. I just don't know what Glenn is as a coach, and I don't know what Fields is yet. Tanner Angstron's never called plays before. So we'll see. I did laugh, though, when I saw the headline that Nick Faria wrote for Jets X Factor. Jets over-under win total announced, third lowest in the NFL. And then you see, bettors around the league aren't expecting much from Aaron Glenn's first season with New York, even with a quarterback change. Yeah, Nick, no shit. They got worse at quarterback. So, yeah, they could be better without Rodgers if the coaching is way better and have a real offense that could run the crap out of the football, which is why I want Warren. But, yeah, obvious. The quarterback change is a big reason why the win total is so low. It's a big part of this. But, the people with the Rodgers derangement syndrome don't want to hear that, but it's true. There's a reason why Mike Tomlin wanted nothing to do with Fields or Russell Wilson, and he moved on and he's trying to bring in Rodgers right now. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Robert C. with a salient point. He says, so the Jets' goal is not to be terrible. I hope so, Robert. I think their goal should be a winning season. That hasn't happened in a decade, but who's counting? Let's get to your call, shall we? But first, let's update the ASMANIAC Madness standings. Folks, right now, David T. leads Purple Belt Mike 53-47. Does PBM have a rally in his bones? Could he jump into his green pool that we saw famously over the summer to get it done? Or will David T. get this close and win? I don't know. That's what this tournament's all about. We don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in right now with the 7 seed in the matchup, Purple Belt Mike. Hello, Mike.
Yo. All right. So there's 2 things I know that I'm good at. It's jiu-jitsu and dancing. Now, when we talk about dancing is 90% confidence, 10% skill. So anyone can do it. So keep that in mind. But I'll leave it to you guys. Whatever lesson you want, I'll do whatever lesson you want. So you let me know. I can't read the chat, so you got to bring up whatever. If you want a dancing lesson, you want a jiu-jitsu lesson, I'm here for it. You let me know.
Well, I think what we should do is do a dancing lesson first, because all of us have been in the dancing mood lately after we've been watching Bobby do it on the show.
All right. So, look, the basic thing about dancing is movement, right? You can't stand still. So if you do a little shuffle, get your arms moving, right? You get your feet, come in and out. That's the basics, right? Then you can get a little crazier when you move your hips, move your legs. You know what I'm saying? You got to feel it. You don't have to be good. You have to be confident and feel good. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Should I play some music for you, Mike?
I got music in my ear.
Okay. Well, we can't hear that.
Yeah, well, it'll get copyrighted. I have the weekend on.
Well, don't worry. I have some uncopyrighted music here. Here we go.
So yeah, so it's all about feet work, right? So you go step forward, step back, go to the side a little bit, right? You use your hips, you use your hands. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to a wedding and get the music going, you know what I'm saying? Get them hands moving, back and forth with the feet. That's it, man. You gotta look confident. That's it. with the dyslexic boxer, I like that. But yeah, I could do breakdance. That's what I used to do. You guys want to see that? You want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Right, hold on. It's out of the way.
J-Max, Jets locker room right to the fourth win.
All right.
This is a great angle for you, Mike. We
Yeah.
love seeing the manhood.
So I'm trying to see if you can see me. So yeah, so kind of like a jiu-jitsu move. Breakdancing is similar to jiu-jitsu. With stuff like
Your opponent is on the screen watching this. Here we go.
man. All right, so like a quick under. Breakdance, it's called the native. So,
All right, now give us some jujitsu. What does that look like?
all right, hold on. Oh, all right.
Just to update you, Mike, you're currently trailing 52-48 here. So you've closed within 4 points here. So this is a very important moment in the call.
All right. Bring this head back. So do you want to see a takedown or a choke?
Whatever you want to give us.
All right.
I'll read you the comments from the chat if they have any requests.
All right, so I'm going to do a body fold takedown. It's a simple takedown. So go this way. So this is my opponent, right in front of me. Now, he would be my height or taller, so you have to get low. You come in, you use your head, you lock your arms, you flatten them out, you get your head under their chin, and you just walk forward, and you land on top of them. That's down here.
Peter Castro wants some pole dancing.
I don't have a pole. All right, so this is the mount position. That's when your legs are over their stomach. Their head would be here. And this is a very dominant position in jiu-jitsu. You can do a lot of things. If I come up this way, turn this way. If I come up this way, their head is here. I'm in an armbar position. I would scoop under, leg, armbar.
Let me bring on my my wrestling guru. Beast, what do you make of this so far?
So far, this is looking pretty amazing. But
Beast.
I do have something that is even better.
Beast, what move you want to see? I'll do whatever you say. What you want to see?
Try to counter moves, lock the legs in place, and get him down, and just give him a couple elbow strikes to the chin. Go with the elbow strike to the chin.
All right, so
Elbow.
I'm in now, right?
This part of the elbow. Go in there. Get air. Boom, boom, boom. That'll knock him up. Boom. Also, if you want to get him in position, lock him in place. There you go. Get him up, and then just give him a couple headshots. Knock him in the jaw a couple times. Knock him in the jaw. There, let's go. Give him a couple shots in the jaw. After he's knocked out, just check in if he's okay. If he's out, then let him have it. Don't let him have it.
What's next, Beast? What do you want to see after that?
Next thing you want to do,
I literally just broke the seam.
why don't you try
I broke the seam on it.
try wrapping your legs around him. If he tries to go for your legs, go with the automatic takedown, and then try and get an MMA position and just go.
I literally just broke the bag. Because a punching
All
bag.
right, take your time. Take your time. It's not a foot race. It's only Wednesday. Remember, if the opponent's going for the legs, try and go under him. Take his legs out, just like this. Get under there. Get both of them like this.
Shoot with the double.
Yeah, go with the double. Go with the double leg. Go for the takedown. Lock him in place, and then just go with the counter strike. Use this part and just knock him right in the face a couple of times. And don't go for the eyes. Just go for the face. Just go for the face. There. Boom. And then if he has enough, then tell him if you had enough, then okay, fine. Then he's dead.
Pretty sure he's dead.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? You get to pick the ones that make the show rock. Who's the king? I'm the Jew.
Perhaps the most creative way we've seen it as Maniac try and get votes. Purple Belt Mike trying to live up to the purple belt name. Now, David T is on the line, and we're going to give him an opportunity to respond. I do want to read the super chat from Tiff because they cut the line. This is for PBM to stop embarrassing himself. Well, Tiff, I'll tell you what PBM did seemingly worked. For the first time today, PBM has taken a slight lead in this matchup, 51-49. Following that performance, ladies and gentlemen, Cincy Matt with a super chat, PBM all day, him as a 7 seed is criminal. Strong takes from the community on PBM. Mike, I see you flailing your arms. Are you okay?
Yeah, I want to show you guys something. I literally blew this bag apart. Can you see it?
Oh, we see it.
Yep. So I destroyed my bag, which is obviously not a grappling dummy. It's a punching bag. I destroyed it for you guys.
Well, speaking of things I see,
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit. Hey, Mike.
David, your thoughts on what you just saw from your opponent, and do you think that will be enough to take you down? Because a lot of people don't believe it will.
It could very well. I mean, I think his way of thinking is masterful because he did terrific with the dancing. I could do maybe a good chair dance at my age, and the martial arts thing. Maybe I could do about 3 jumping jacks. But I was thinking, boy, I wish I had my goddaughter up in Pennsylvania put on a show. She's a black belt in karate, so she would have to step in for me. But yeah, it could very well bring me down. But it's all good. But really, really good thinking by PBM.
A lot of people are asking the same question, David. Are you going to get on a bike?
You know what? That was so terrific with Peter Castro, and years ago when I used to ride a lot of bike, I actually did go up and over my bicycle. Had to go in the hospital with a concussion, and all these years later, I'm laughing about it. But no, I'm not going to get on a bike. I mean, maybe in my dreams right now,
Well, David, I got news for you. This call has seemingly already paid off dividends. 52-48, you have regained the lead.
It's a lot of fun, Jake. I'm just so I am just so thrilled that enough people, that many people think enough of me to cast a vote for me. I'm just thrilled.
I'll tell you what, David, keep up the great work. You're a beloved caller, and we've seen in this tournament that sometimes just being well-liked is enough to get by.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that.
Ladies and gentlemen, David T. Play him out.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Now that's a call. That's well done. Luppy in for 5. Thank you for the memberships from the Lup man who returned from his vacation on the first show today. Celebrated a birthday, and we met Luppy's wife on the first show today, so that was epic. Nick W., Shurzy, Mark Grossman, MJR, and Craig M. all receiving memberships. If my brother is still watching, that goes towards the beer fund at opening day tomorrow. Jeffrey says, this show never ceases to amaze. You never know what's going to happen on this show. Sometimes we talk about the Jets. Sometimes we ride bikes around Manhattan or Florida. Sometimes man boobs are exposed. A lot's happening on this show. You never know. Be nice if the Jets were good, though. I will say that. Let's see. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let's get to more of your calls right now. On the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is the Hamburger. Hello, Hamburger.
What is up, everybody? How you doing today?
What's up, Hamburger? Always good to get you on the line.
Yeah, man. I had a rough ride home. A lot of traffic coming over GW on our way back to Queens. So, but Gabrielle says hello. Let me see. Purple Belt Mike and David T. That is a tough choice for me. I have a lot of love for Purple Belt Mike, and I really enjoy David T. That was some performance today by Purple Belt Mike. It had
I don't
me
think he's
rolling.
done, by the way. I think Mike still has a couple tricks up his sleeve, from my understanding.
He's got more, huh? Oh, I'm excited. I'll have to stay on for that before dinner. But listen, man, the 5.5 wins from Vegas is warranted. I mean, it's a less talented team, like you spoke about before. You know, less talented quarterback. It is what it is, man. I think I said it, at the beginning earlier a couple weeks ago. I predicted 5 wins. I don't think it's any more than that, and I'm not going to let myself be fooled into believing again. It's just I'm one that really believes in the Jets all the time. No matter what, I always believe in the Jets. I always hope for the best. I'm always pumped, but I think this year is the one time that I'm going to have to step back, save myself some grief, and either not be not be disappointed or be pleasantly surprised. I can't do what I've done for the last 40 years of my life. It's been rough, and I can't deal with it. It's not something that I feel like this year that the franchise earned that from me this year. They took that away from me. So that's where I stand with them. But I am excited that baseball is starting tomorrow. That is fantastic. I'm glad you get to go to the game. I'll be going next week on Friday, so I took the day off.
Hey, good for you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, the draft party, I'm excited for that. And I swear to God, if we pick Dart, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go home. If we pick him and we move up and get him, I'm going home. I'm not. I will be so disappointed. And I got a Giant fan at work, and he's like, he wants the Giants to take him. I'm like, you're out of your mind. I'm like,
At 3, he wants him?
Yeah. At 3, I said, bro, you obviously don't watch football enough. I mean, that's at best, that's a second round pick, and even third round. The kid doesn't have a lot of experience under center. Like, he's got the tool, he's got tools. He's a big kid. He could throw the ball, but still, man, I really don't want another project right now. And not, if we're going to take him, I don't mind at 2 or 3. I have no problem with that. But I will be pissed if we trade up, or if he's there at 7 and we take him at 7 and leave good players on the board. That we need a lot of holes to be filled on this team.
Yeah, to me, they take him at 7. It's a
wrap, bro. It's a wrap.
Like, it's incompetence. It really,
Yeah.
unless he's amazing, and I'd love to be wrong. What What is and how would he even be amazing? Like how the team would be so flawed around him, and like, oh, I guess he wouldn't start at all till Fields got hurt, or like Fields didn't play. Like would make no sense to take him at 7. None.
I agree 100%. So, but listen, you got an awesome show today, man. Very entertaining. I will not say who I'm going to vote for, but once I hang up, I'm going to put my vote in. And
wow, show us some guts, Hamburger. Give us a take. You going PBM or David
I'm still not
T?
sure yet. I think I might have to go with Purple Belt Mike, man, because back in the day, like he put in some things for me. I think I got that Jets helmet because of Purple Belt Mike. So I think I have to stay loyal to that and put my vote his way.
That's a good point.
David T, I love you, man. You're a great caller and I enjoy it. But I think Purple Belt Mike gets the vote from the Hamburger today.
Now, Hamburger, looking ahead to this tournament, obviously we're getting set for the Butter Region coming up. Tomorrow I'm doing one show in the morning. We got Bobby Midnight and Jake West. Then we got Mikey and Ricky. Then we have the Australia matchup with Craig and Jets Johnny, who's trying to take him out. But then we have you and Gary. And Gary, with his moon landing takes, I think has alienated a lot of people in the chat. Do you see an avenue to take down Gary 3D boxing?
I do, man. I think in my life, I like to live by accomplishments. So that's something that I try to strive for in life. I had a rough time when I was younger, but didn't graduate high school, but I made it pretty far and passed some college courses to get into the job that I'm at. So for me, that's an accomplishment. So I don't know. I think I have some things for in store for him. If not, I'll just be me and just call in and shoot the shit like I usually do. So I don't have many gimmicks.
Well, here's the question for you, Hamburger. Do you believe in achievement? Because we know Gary does not.
Achievements are life. If you don't believe in achievement, you're not going to be much, man. So I think Gary, I don't know. I think Gary inside has to believe in achievements. Because I think that Gary probably has done all right with him. He's got for himself. He's got a nice family. So that's an achievement in itself.
Dave Brigga just gave you the endorsement that every Asmaniac wants to get in this tournament. Hamburger, it will be very tough, but we know you're an achiever. You got a shot now, Hamburger. You have a real chance.
I appreciate that a lot, Brigga. I really do. And you are the highlight of the Asmaniacs in like the last 3 weeks, man. So kudos to you. Top-notch work.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hamburger checking in. Good call from him. Let's go to Kyle Clifton, who's next. Hey, Kyle.
What's going on, Jake? So I was a little disappointed in the earlier matchup. I was regretting my Neil support because he had said that he didn't attend his son's championship baseball game. Come on, man. Got to get the priorities straight. And then Leanie, who I was feeling bad about not voting for, she came out and said she was backing Jay Graves to get to the next round. And who do you think that I'm playing in this round? Jay Graves. So
and
I think
just
this
so
one
you
is
know, Kyle, just looking at the bracket here too, Jay Graves, I believe, with Leanie being eliminated by Neil, is the last 4%er that is still alive in the tournament right now.
Okay. Well, at least she'll have that when she goes down.
Yeah, baby. Talking that trash. Kyle Clifton, everyone.
No, I have a lot of respect for Jay Graves. We talked a little bit about this offline, but it's time. Your idea about moving AVT out to right tackle has a lot of merit. I've talked a little bit about this in the chat. You don't even have to. You could just throw right guard open to competition. You could draft a guy. You get guards all the time in the 4th and 5th round. Bring a guy in to compete with some of the people who are already on the roster, and kind of go with that, like, or sign a guy in post draft free agency. Like the whole idea that we have to spend this pick after spending all these other picks on Membo, not Membu, right?
I think it's the other way around. I think it's Membu, but
It is Membu. Okay. We had the same problem last year with Talisi Funga, if you recall.
how
right?
was he as a rookie, by the way? I feel like I heard nothing about him.
I think he was okay. But he was the darling early on, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the point is here, like, get somebody who can be a professional starting front five guy.
Neil has responded to you.
Okay, I see that. Okay, but he said it, not me, right? Like, he did say it was a baseball. Was it a baseball game? He said.
Neil said a lot today. I couldn't tell you. Hard to keep track of all his points.
No, I have Neil going to the Final Four, and I was a big Neil supporter. And then he, I heard that, and I was aghast. So, and the other thing he was saying is that he was by far the biggest Jet fan on the show, which I think that's up for a little bit of debate myself. But yeah, the whole thing is, let's bring in someone. If this is an open spot here, I think that we all think that AVT can competently play right tackle, right? But I think that we might be able to throw right guard open to competition and have it covered competently. We do need to get a weapon in there, and we need to get it in the first 3 rounds, probably multiple weapons. So
tight end and receiver should be 2 of their first 3 picks, in my opinion.
Right, and people keep on saying, well, you have to build through the trenches and all this stuff, but not all drafts are equal. And this draft is not the draft that had Wirfs and all those other guys, those tackles in a few years ago. This is a different draft than that. Like, so many of these guys are being projected out to guard right away. So why don't we just take a guard or try and fill guard in this draft? It feels like we're trying to force it a little bit. And the whole thing is cornerback, wide receiver, quarterback. These positions aren't there. Let's realize that. Let's see what rooms we can really massively upgrade on the first 2 days, and let's do that.
All fair. All fair.
Okay.
They better get it right, Kyle. We better be leaving the draft party altogether feeling happy with what they did on night 1.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. I got to make sure that we still have tickets left for
yes,
for the draft party. All right,
not as many as you would think, though. I'm blown away by this audience, the amount that have already been bought, and we still got a month to go.
I got to talk to my brother Lyle and see if he wants to go.
Yes.
All right, Let's talk to you.
Kyle Clifton, everybody. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We are actively seeking more entries in the ASMANIAC raffle. Let's be positive about the raffle prizes. That I can do. We're giving away a Sign Revis helmet, Rex helmet, Bart Scott jersey, Tone Time helmet, Cromartie helmet, and Nick Mangold jersey. NY to PA says, you guys are being played for money and views. Jake doesn't even believe this stuff. There's no way. What am I saying that I don't genuinely believe? You want me to just tell you I think this team's going to be great and I've loved their offseason. I've loved every move. You really think that you really think the guy who has the biggest following on YouTube talking about the Jets wants to be not optimistic and positive about the team? You do realize that my viewership is better when the team is good. My viewership is better when there's exciting moves happening in the offseason. Like, it's not even close. People are like, oh, well, the Jets, at least they're always in the news. Like, yeah, that's great, but I'm telling you, good news on YouTube does way better than bad. So, here's one thing I could promise you. You might not agree with my opinion. That's fine. But it's my opinion. I never say things I don't believe. I believe everything I'm saying. Believe me. But this is the first time I've been, quote unquote, negative since I've been doing the show. And people got to get used to it. Win games, man. I think I speak for a lot of the fan base saying I'm tired of the I watch one Jets drive and you think the Jets are winning the Super Bowl. I'm tired of it, man. Win football games. And I will be as positive as anyone. I have picked this team to go 12-5 the last 2 years and win the division. Don't tell me I'm not positive. NY to PA says, cherry picking my comments. I'll say it again. No draft, no offseason workouts, no training camp, no preseason. Yet you could still smell 4 wins based off of what? Based off of they have gotten worse on paper. They have gotten worse at key positions. Several of them. Not just quarterback, because I know people will say, no, they didn't. Okay, they've gotten worse at wide receiver right now. They've gotten worse at right tackle. They've gotten worse at corner. These are facts. I don't know what the coaching is. Vegas has the Jets at 5.5. So it's crazy for me to think they're going to go under that. If I say they're going under that, how many wins would they end up? NY2. They'd end up at 4. That's math. Or do you not believe in math? Because if you look at the over-under and it's 5.5, and I think that they're going to go under their win total, that means they're at 4 or 5 wins right there. Like, what do you think that means? I hope they win 10. I want to make the playoffs. I think the goal should be 9-8. I've said that over and over again. But this is also the same coach and GM that said they want to win now and going forward, and you tell me how they've improved this offseason. But please, call in, make your point. But all the people who troll in the comments, notice they never call in. Never. You'll go right to the front of the line. There will be no wait time. All right? We'll put you right on. But that's not going to happen. We know how this works. They never call in. Frank writes in, how short is Muji and Glenn's leash? 2 seasons to get to the playoffs. I think it will depend on what these 2 seasons look like if they don't make the playoffs. Like, if they're bad this year, but 9-8 at the end of year 2, I don't think they're getting fired. 9-8 miss the playoffs. But I think if they don't make the playoffs by the 3rd year, they're gone. They're gone. They're not surviving then. I think that's what it really comes down to. I think it depends on what it looks like. People want to always compare the Jets to the Lions because of Glenn. Well, the Lions were 9-8 after year 2. They won 3 games the first year, but this Jets team is more talented than that team. Sal won 4 games his first year. This team should go out there and win at least 9 games, in my opinion. That should be the goal, a winning year. I don't have a lot of faith they're going to do it until I actually see it. That's the problem. NY to PA says, good coaching. Why don't you call in, buddy? Call in. You have no balls. You have no guts. You have no spine. So you won't. Call in. Good coaching will always keep you competent. Look at the Steelers. You're going to compare Aaron Glenn, who's never coached the game in the NFL as a head coach, and Tanner Engstrand, who's never called plays before. And you're going to try and tell me that the example we're going to use here is the Steelers. Oh, you mean the same franchise that wants our quarterback we just had who threw 28 touchdowns? Get lost. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. You're going to use the Steelers as an example. Give me a break. Morons, man. I can't. Call in. Yeah, I actually didn't even put them in the hole. Link is there, NYPA. Floor is yours. Come on. Anyway. Let's see. Let's get some more calls, shall we? Let's say hello right now to... Oh, hold on. Let's do this properly. Stand by. I forgot we had this. It gets me excited every time. Here we go.
When he's home, his bell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his bell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. Because the show, his bell is on the bed. It's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the Jets, super jets. Where the big fella sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. Where the big fella.
What's up, man?
There he is. How are you, big fella?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yo, that was a tough comparison. The Steelers, the Jets. Come on, man.
Mike Tomlin, who's never had a losing season, and he's been the head coach there 18 years. Like, give me a break.
Yeah,
we can only hope Aaron Glenn is anywhere close to Mike Tomlin. Then this team could be pretty good this year because, yeah, if your coaching is that superb every year, then you have a chance. My big thing is the roster has gotten worse, and I'm not giving a new regime the benefit of the doubt anymore until I see it. That's my point.
And that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, I'm predicting over 5.5 wins. I mean, 5.5 wins, you got to be really shitty. So, especially in a 17 game season, I mean, that's real bad. But I'm
They
predicting
should be able to
over
win
that.
at least 7 games if they did
Right.
it with Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle.
Exactly. That's my rationale going into the season. Like, that's why I would take the over. I think we have talent on this team. I really do. Hopefully they do the draft well. We'll see what happens. I'm going to the draft party. It's gonna be awesome.
Let's
I
go.
can't wait. I can't wait. And yeah, I'm looking forward to everything, bro. I think it's gonna be great. I think this tournament's been great for an off season where we haven't done shit. I feel like this has been a great time, and you're to thank for it, and I thank you for it.
I appreciate it, big fella. You're the man, and I'm thrilled that you're going to be at the draft party because when you walk in, I think you're going to get quite the crowd pop.
Well, you know what I'm doing for this tournament. No one else does, and it's going to be.
I really don't know what you're doing either, to be honest.
Okay, well, we could talk about it, but not now, obviously. But
I have some of the stuff you sent, but I don't know where this is headed.
Yeah. Well,
I would like to do this though, since you're on the line right now. I would like to get our first Sweet 16 matchup preview because it's not every day that we get both of you together at once.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Glowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, child! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, child!
hello, Charles.
Hello, big fella.
What's up, buddy?
Ladies and gentlemen, the first Sweet 16 matchup that was set in the round of 32. Gorman and Big Fella. Winner advances to the Elite Eight. Charles, how you feeling about the matchup?
It's not, well, I feel pretty good now. I'm in good company. I was heated the Discord, not mostly at Big Fella and Leany, but with the Tim Boyle signing with the Tennessee Titans. That really kind of pissed me off.
Charles, say what you told me off air about Tim Boyle.
Oh, he should be flipping burgers at Good Burger rather than paying court. For a guy who's unemployed, who wants to work, who wants to earn a living, I feel insulted by Tim Boyle having a job in the NFL. They may have to kiss Aaron Rodgers' ass to get a job in the NFL. I have no freaking idea.
Charles, my campaign, you're gonna love the final result. Let's just say that, my man. We're gonna have a good time, but we have to rumble. We have to rumble on our day, Charles. I need a commitment from you. We have to rumble because it's gonna be. Let me tell you something. We're gonna have a good time, bro. Now, Jake, I know you edited the campaign video yesterday. People, sign up for the Discord. The whole video is on the Discord. Check it out. It's awesome. It's the first clue of our matchup. I sent Jake part 2 today. I don't think he had a chance to look at it, but it's going to lead to the culmination of Charles and I's matchup. And by the way, I've been laying Easter eggs in every super chat, and every time I call in, pay attention. Al, turn the car around. Okay? We're going to need it later. It stinks out there. What are we going to do? Oh, Al broke the paper. God, that smells out there. I wonder if people are reporting on it. I guess we'll have to see. Well, this is disturbing. We got to get to the bottom of this. Go Jets.
Oh shit. Oh. was pretty interesting. What's so funny? Oh, my farts are being bad outside. I get it now. Yeah, my farts are terrible. I get it.
Trust me. You're gonna love it. So, anyway, thank you, Jake, for playing that for me. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, big fella. You're the man.
I have something that I'm going to be posting later. Everybody got to sign up for the Patreon. If you want to be in on this, sign up for the Patreon. Okay, Charles, we're going to have a good time, brother. It's all love in this. And, be the final chapter, part 3, will be coming closer to the day of you and I's meeting. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Charles, are you intimidated by big fella?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I'm a little concerned, though. Big fella to me is like what life is, a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Well, Charles, I got someone on the line that wants to say hello. It's someone that you know very well. He's probably your...
Is it the big fella again?
Probably one of your favorite superheroes. Ladies and gentlemen, Purple
Is
Belt
it Gator with his
Batman is
AI
next.
bullshit?
Charles, I need you to vote for me.
Purple Belt Mike.
If you believe in voting, you vote for
I'm not an idiot, Jake. Come on now. Where's Purple Belt? I can only see a black screen.
This is Batman. Batman here. Batman says vote for PBM. I just got done beating up Superman.
I voted for you, Mike. I did. I voted for you, Mike. You could stop with the Ben Affleck bullshit.
Charles, I love you, man. Batman's better than Superman.
What do you think of
Depends
Batman
on your
Charles?
opinion, but that's a different story.
How about the fact that
With
Batman
Purple Belt
is
Mike,
calling you up?
Doesn't matter. I really don't care. Anyways, I wanted to talk. I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming matchup for tomorrow between Leany and Neil.
The matchup
I don't know who to
happened
vote
already.
for.
It happened already. Where have you been?
What, Neil and Leany? Who won?
Neil won.
Oh wow! Holy shit! I wasn't
Where were
here for
you?
that.
What were you doing today?
Let's say I went out, had lunch at Costco, which I paid for with the remaining money I had left, with some of the remaining money I had left.
So I didn't pay for this one?
And then I picked up. No, you did not. Then I picked up my new glasses at Vision Works in Springfield, New Jersey. And then I came home and I chilled after that.
So who would you have voted for then if you were around to vote today?
Probably Leany.
Well, she lost by 1 vote, so you're the reason
But
why.
she's rooting for... Sorry, Leany.
You should feel ashamed of yourself.
I am. I also want to talk to you about look, I get it, we did get worse in certain areas like our tackle, our corner, our quarterback. Well, I say we got worse at quarterback in terms of experience and success. But
and ability.
Obviously he can run, that's for damn sure. But obviously that guy, I've completely forgot the guy's name because he was so forgetful game in his career to Mike. Stupid. Mike Tomlin has been a coach. He was an assistant coach with the Bucs back in the day. Since 2007, he's been the head coach of the Steelers, and the Steelers have been either above 500 or at least 500. So comparing an inexperienced coach who has yet to do anything against an experienced coach who's had success is stupid. Now, I would also like to say that obviously if the Jets took either Jackson Dart in the first round would be stupid. However, I want to really talk to you about moving AVT to right tackle. I do believe and agree that he can play very well at tackle, but he's been more prone to injury playing at tackle than throughout his career playing guard. I mean, last year he played guard and he was healthy most of the season. That's not funny. Where do I see myself in 5 years living up on my own and having a job? Is this Leon M the same asshole who kept trashing me? It's not like I forgot to vote. It's just I wasn't aware that Leany and Neil went at it this morning. I love the fact I'm a punching bag in this situation. I love we got these shitty troll accounts. I don't drink alcohol. I can't drink alcohol because of my medication. But if I did have a go-to alcohol beverage, it would be wine. I don't suffer from hemorrhoids, 25. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. He's more prone to injury. I have 2 working pairs of glasses. One of them broke. Anyways, Elijah Vera Tucker is more prone to injury at tackle than he is at guard. Yes, I like the armored batsuit, although my favorite batsuit outside of the mainstream one is the Batman Beyond suit. Well, Bonesy saying that a girl called me and saying she's pregnant kind of makes me look like an asshole. I'd say red wine. Anyway, I already know this. I don't know what the hell he's saying. I don't have tights. Very funny. I like the fact that people say random shit. Oh, wow, Weege is the best thing I've ever had. Didn't know that you didn't give a shit about my other takes. Can we, I haven't given out any more. Oh my God. These fucking people. No, if I was a hot dog, I'd go inside your mom. That I use Scott's. I don't use Charmin. No, I have not seen her. I love the fact that you fuckers like to really troll the shit out of me when I'm on
Family
Jake's show.
What's up with the language here?
Also, I'm back to 245, 46.
Generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Charles, I'm going to introduce you to Mimosa right now. She is here. She's a big fan of yours. And
my
here
God.
we go. There you go. Another lovely lady, as you would say.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Mimosa.
How are you, Charles?
Good, ma'am. How are you?
Oh my God, you mammed me. You don't
It's
mam
out
a
of
New York.
respect.
I appreciate it. But I'm fine. How are you?
I was raised through good. I didn't. When I say ma'am, I mean out of respect. I was raised in New Jersey. My grandfather, my paternal grandfather, whose birthday was on Monday, the 24th. He would have been 101 if he was still alive.
Oh, wow.
He was
Mimosa,
born
are
in
you
Brooklyn, New
excited that
York. So.
Are you excited that your debut on this channel happens with Charles Gorman on the screen? It doesn't get more elite than that.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm just glad I got to call in. I just got home and I told you I would. You know, I love Bobby's show. It's fun. I told you I had to start smaller, but I'm wearing my Asmaniac sweatshirt that I just got.
Let's go. Love it.
So this is weird, but whatever. Did my little thing come up under the losers of the off season? Like, what are we doing?
Losing the offseason to win in the
Well,
regular
I
season.
think we should focus.
No, we're not.
I think we look. I know it sounds like a rough year, but I know we're tired of the BS. I know we're tired of the losing, but we got to give this coaching staff a bit of a chance here. We can't just be like expect them to fail, and then when they fail, we hate on them.
I want them to win. I don't expect them to fail. I hope we win. I've been a Jets fan for 35 years, so I hope we win. I just don't think
35 years.
35 years since I was 15 years old. So 36 years, whatever.
So you're 50. No, you're 50.
51.
51. Well, God bless you, man.
God bless you, man.
Beastbreaker just wrote in Mimosa equals superstar. How about that? You've gotten the praise from Beast.
Oh, the Beast. I feel bad he's got back problems, and I completely understand. Beast, you need to start planking. Get that core muscle up, and your back will get better. And stop doing those Garrett Wilson impressions. Jake, I have to say, I was
You've been a Jets fan since 1990.
Charles is trying to figure this out. Yeah, so the backstory on Charles, the backstory on that is that my boyfriend was at Johns Hopkins when I was still in high school, so he couldn't get the Jets games. So I would VHS tape them and mail them to him at school and be like, Jets lose again, they suck, whatever. And then I became a Jets fan when I was 15, and that's why he made me. And then that's where, Jake, that's when I go back every year and went to those 5 home games. Like, I went with him and our friends from high school. So that was fun. Can't wait to hang out with the Asmaniacs next season.
Let's go.
When we win 4 games. Woo!
Hopefully one of them is like last year's.
I don't think we will. I mean, I think we still are a talented team. It's just that we don't have enough talent on the cornerback position compared to years past. Obviously, we downgraded in terms of quarterback and tackle, but we did get,
wide receiver. We have 1 wide receiver right now. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing with Garrett if Garrett gets hurt doing his Gumby shit out there? Like, if Garrett gets hurt in the first game, like, we are screwed. Are we keeping Alan Lazard? Or is he going to the Steelers?
Oh, I hope not. I think he's been a disappointment. He's been a major disappointment.
Matthias says Mimosa is impressed by the mustache. Mimosa, are you a fan of the Gorman stash?
I'm trying to look at it on the TV because
I know you're on delay. Stand by. It's about to pop up on your screen, and it's gonna be life-changing.
But I don't know how to move. Like, okay, I'm like screwing this up. Can I exit? If I exit out of this, I'm going to exit myself.
I'm not sure what you're looking at.
This is why I'm looking at myself in the settings part. Hold on.
Leave the settings. There you go.
Okay. Charles, you have a cute stash.
There it is.
Thank you.
Very cute. Very nice.
Now, Mimosa, how long have you been watching the show? Because you've been tuned in. Everyone's gotten a membership from you at some point here. But this is your first call on this show right here, right now. And I would argue that if you had been calling all year, you'd be in this tournament and you'd be representing our 4.5 percenters in Asmaniac Madness.
So I've been watching your show for at least two seasons, at least, like since before we acquired Aaron Rodgers. Like, I think when I found out we were acquiring him, I was just looking on YouTube for like Jets content, and then I came onto your show and I was like, oh, this is fun. But I didn't understand how the chat worked. Like, I'm very technically challenged. Like, I didn't grow up with cell phones, so or tablets or any of that stuff. We had landlines and fax machines. So so I didn't understand how like the chat works or how you do any of this stuff. So I've been watching from the background for for at least like 2.5 years, and it's great. Your show is amazing. I was dying laughing on the couch yesterday watching Peter Castro get on that freaking bike in the rain. I was dying. I called Addison and was like, "Are you watching this shit? Because this is hilarious." I'm like, I am laughing out loud. Peter, I thought he was gonna get on like a stationary bike, and there he goes with like his beach cruiser out in the rain at the condo association. Like, you've done a magnificent job with this this tournament. It's been amazing to watch. So kudos to you and the committee. Great job.
You're awesome, Mimosa. I'm going to let you go because I know you wanted to ease into this, but I think this was an excellent first call. And we put you on with Gorman. I mean, Charles Gorman, he's the ultimate tone setter. He can make everyone feel at ease.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Mimosa.
Welcome,
she has probably gifted each of you a membership over the last several months. We always thank her for that. Charles, your thoughts on your first Mimosa encounter there?
She's very lovely.
Mm-hmm.
She's very nice. She's very serious.
Dave Brigger writes in, Charles and Bobby will start a competition for mimosas.
Oh, stop it. She's probably already married.
Tom A says, Charles is mesmerized.
Maybe. I just want to let you know, I was once up to 250 subscribers. Now I'm back down to 245.
How much were you once at?
250. Now I'm at 245.
Well, you know what you need to do to get some subscribers.
I'm not going to fart just to get some subscribers.
That'd be like Spider-Man not using his webs. You realize how dumb that is.
Whatever, Jake. Anyway.
No, whatever, Jake, mate.
Yes, but that's not the point.
You play to your strengths. If the Jets want to have any chance of not sucking, they need to run the shit out of the football, Charles. If Spider-Man's going to beat bad guys, he needs to use his webs. If you want to gain subscribers, you got to let it rip.
Oh. Well, I don't have farts on me right now. I used them all up a while ago.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. When you get some back, you call back.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. God bless you if you're still watching. This is peak off season right now. Update. David T holding on. It's tight, though. It still can swing one way or another. It's 52-48 in our ASMANIAC Madness matchup. Our final matchup in the round of 32 inside the Hood region. That's because tomorrow on the show, we move forward to the Butter region, where the number 1 seed, Bobby Midnight, will take on Jake West in what should be a barn burner. Right now, though, Eddie is on the line. Hello, Eddie.
Vote for PPM. Vote for PPM. It's going to help save and beat Vecna. Oh, what's this? Yeah. I just got done killing a Demogorgon. This is his femur, baby. ASMANIAC Madness. Who's going to vote for PPM? ASMANIAC Madness. Who's going to vote for PPM? Woo! Let's go!
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? ASMANIAC Madness. You get to pick the ones who make the show rock. Who's the king? Original.
Incredible. Incredible. Purple Bump Mike pulling out all the stops. Can he make a comeback? 52-48. 542 votes have been cast. We heard from David T earlier. He was peak David T. Does Mike have it in him? I thought for sure when I put Gorman on with Mike in the Batman costume, that was going to swing some votes here. But the power of David T is being felt. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, he is in action on our only show of the day tomorrow. It is a battle that has been brewing for a long time. Bobby Midnight J Quest. A lot of people have seen the video of Bobby Midnight getting humped at the Jet game this past season. The guy in the video that was doing the humping was none other than J Quest himself. Tomorrow they meet in ASMANIAC Madness. And we all know that it's going to be quite the battle. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in right now with the aforementioned Bobby Midnight.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Okay, vote for PBM because he's an awesome cook. He shows us cooking every time when he's on. He does the grilling, right? And that in the background, that was Maui, his dog, barking with the long hair.
I thought that was his wife.
So vote for PBM. What? And his wife. And then.
You think his wife was barking?
No, his dog was. That
Oh.
was Maui. His, yeah. And he has a beautiful wife and a nice pool. He jumped into a pool with, what was it? That green stuff. Remember algae? You dared him to jump into the pool.
Yeah.
With that green film. I think it was algae. Wasn't it called algae?
Sure.
Yeah, something like that. So are you going on the radio station today? You have your ESPN shirt? Oh, just wearing that. Okay. Well, I just saw your ESPN shirt. So yeah, no, vote for PM. That's my boy. I want take the Jets. I'm glad that you threw that guy in the hole. He does not know.
Oh no!
Do you get revenge against J Quest tomorrow, Bobby?
Yeah, well, hopefully that dance gets me over the top, maybe. Or I could come up with something tomorrow.
What dance?
No, the disco dance. I don't care about Nick Fury. I'm not calling him because he's the Eagle fan. He stink. They won the Super Bowl. Who cares? I thought that would be putting you out, getting you in trouble with that. Oh God! I think the nipple one was. I thought you were gonna get taken down. Any questions for me, Jake? Let's see. Any questions or comments? And then also, Mimosa is single. She's not married.
Are you hitting on Mimosa?
Oh God! Love at first sight.
Calm your freaky down.
Oh, calm my freaky down. But when she called in, I couldn't believe it. But that was nice. She's very beautiful, and she
calm your freaky down.
Has a kind heart too. And then I'm happy she called into your show too. That was awesome. And she had Charles Gorman with her. Charles acted like a very nice gentleman. Charles, very respectful young man. Any questions, Jake? I can see the chat.
No questions, but simply a video that must be played.
Okay.
Do the left one. Oh no.
We'll get down there yet.
Oh my God.
Get him down.
Take your shirt off.
You can't get it. Yeah, no, that one was a hard time to get doing it. The other one was, I got $20 for the other one.
Are you so basically what you're saying is it's $10 per man move for you to try and lick.
Well, yeah, with Nate gave me 20 for it.
Also, Sarah apparently enjoyed that moment, so you got at least one lovely lady who enjoyed that.
Oh, Sarah. Yeah. Hi, Sarah. How you doing? Nice to see Sarah. It's a beautiful day. At least it was sunny today. when the sun came out, when it's noon, it's a lot better.
Fernando called you trying to lick your man boob cringe.
Well, Fernando, thank you very much for that compliment. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Pat says, how do we actually go back to talking about the Jets? Bobby, get us back on track. What Jet take do you have for us?
Pat Rudy, okay. Well, I already told you I want Warren for the tight end at 7. Do not get Dart. I don't think the Giants are getting Dart either at the third picking. And also
say
maybe
hi to Thunderlip's wife Carrie. She apparently is not enjoying the last 3 minutes, and that mostly involves your breasts. So maybe you could try and win her over.
Sorry, Carrie. I'm sorry. I know you have children. I love you still. That was hard. I just did it for $20. I'm sorry, Carrie. Oh, hi, Thunderlips. How you doing? So, and what's that guy that you always talk about moving over?
ABT?
Yeah, that guy. That's a good move, I think. You think that will be a good move too?
TB says, Bobby, have you considered applying for a job at a topless establishment or perhaps Hooters? Well, Hooters is going under, I believe, TB.
No way, really? They going under, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never heard that. Okay. That's
apparently you're in the clear. Thunderlips' wife is just upset that he spent $5, not that you flashed.
Yeah, I hope she slapped you in the head for that one too.
Oh, I did. Don't encourage people to not send in super chats.
She did one time. I was happy when she slapped him in the head.
I can't do this full time without super chats, Bobby. Don't tell people not to super chat.
No. But she gets mad at him. But she slaps him in the head. Any more, Jake?
I'll think about it.
No, that other one I wouldn't want to go to an establishment like that. No.
You think?
That's only for my entertainment and everybody else's entertainment. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Anybody else, Jake?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Well, I know how you do this, so I'm waiting.
What do you mean? You know how I do this?
Well, you put certain comments up, and then we have to talk to people.
But what if I just want to keep you on your toes and there's just no comments?
All right, that's fine. We can still talk. I'm a lot better than after 3 months, right, Jake? I'm getting better.
I'll tell you what.
What?
We gave Charles Gorman the opportunity to talk to a lovely lady. I think one of the perks of being a 1 seed is you get to talk to lovely ladies on the air. So, ladies and gentlemen, sing along.
She's from Australia, the golden blonde beauty. Can't live without her, that girl makes me freaky. Sarah the angel is everyone's sweetie. If she dumps her husband, I'll be her next beefy. Sarah.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi, beautiful Sarah. You didn't get the updated one?
Oh yeah, you don't have the updated one.
You have the it's for Hawk. Because I changed it. It sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
It's much better.
And I'm happy that it still has the slide in there. Because that's my favorite bit when you slide
Jake,
out.
Do you think I look like Al from Home Improvement with that checkered shirt?
I can see it. Sure.
You got to do the Home Improvement laugh, Bobby.
Oh, well, does he really? It's a real laugh. I think.
Yeah, he does like that. Oh, whatever he does.
Yeah, it's not.
I just want to personally say that I'm disgusted. Nothing against Neil, but I'm disgusted at everybody for not voting for Queen Lainey. What is wrong with you?
I voted. I voted for.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying the chat in general. I woke up this morning to finding out that news, and I was disgusted. Yes, I'm saying disgusted to Tony G. Also, Team Australia. Vote for Team Australia. When's that happening, Jakey boy?
I have to check the schedule, Sarah. We got some time for that one. But I'll ask you this, Sarah. We got a close one going on right now, and obviously a Sarah endorsement could go a long way for either of these two gentlemen battling it out. Are you on David T or PBM's side in this matchup?
Nothing against the person that I didn't vote for, but I 100% know that this person voted for me when I was in my little battle. So I had to go David T.
David T getting an endorsement from Sarah, and David T joins us now. David, how you feeling after that endorsement?
Hey, David.
Oh my God, Sarah! I always compare you to my all-time crush, Olivia Newton-John. You know, you're a pretty lady, but the accent just takes me down. You know what I mean? So thank you. I really appreciate that.
Go David T. Sorry, nothing against Purple Belt Mike, but like he's a lovely guy. But yeah,
yes.
No, obviously you got to vote for someone, and mine is David T.
Let's go PBM.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so
Oh
much.
shit! Sorry, Purple Belt Mike.
David, keep on hanging on, man.
If Craig hadn't have texted everybody he knew to vote for him, then maybe I would have been up in that as well. And Jay Quest, text all his family. Jay Quest, if you think I'm voting for you tomorrow, think again. You're up against my Bobby Midnight.
Sarah, I love you.
Jay Quest joins us now. Jay Quest, your thoughts on Sarah saying that she is not voting for you tomorrow?
That's all right. It's all right. I don't have you know what? I tell you one thing. Bobby showed his tits, right? Am I on the show? Right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna one up him right now. I gotta show you my pussy. Hold on.
Oh, your pussy cat. He is a cat. He's a cat.
Here's my pussy for you, Bobby. All right? That's how we do it.
What's the cat's name again?
Nacho.
Nasha. That's a pretty name for a cat. I love that cat.
She's a man. He's a man. Bobby, listen, no matter what happens
he is
tomorrow,
a man.
I love you, bro.
Sorry, I thought it sounded like...
That's all right.
Yeah, we're still friends.
Hey,
Don't worry
Gianluca.
about it. If you go ahead, go ahead.
What do you think? What do you think of Bobby Midnight? Hey, what do you think of Bobby Midnight? You think I'm gonna take him down tomorrow or what? Yes.
Of course, go daddy. Yeah, of course. He's the shy one,
Bobby,
right?
I wish you luck. I wish you luck tomorrow.
Yeah, I wish you
and
luck
sing me a
too.
song, Bobby.
Early
Sing me a song. Sing me a song. Sing me a song, Bobby.
Huh? I can't do it off head right now. I gotta wait until my show. You pull on my show, then I'll do it.
You don't need the music. Just come on, come up with something. A little Frank Sinatra. You can do it. I believe in you. Get the votes in. Come on.
Okay.
If you sing
Start
Sinatra,
spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. And I can't remember the rest of the word without the music. But I love you, Jake Quest. And we're going to have a good rumble. I fart when I sing too. I fart. Woohoo. Okay, that's got to be. Yeah, I do fart.
If I can make it here, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you. New York, New York.
We love that song, man. I love it.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? Yes, Maniac Madness. You get to pick the ones that make the show rock. I'm the king, I'm the Joe.
Bobby, how do you not know the words to New York, New York? You're a Yankees fan. Anyway, great call by Jay Quest and Bobby. Really set the tone for tomorrow's matchup. I mean, Bobby's flashing nips on the air to try and win. Jay Quest has been prank calling sports talk radio stations. I mean, it's going to be an incredible battle. That's the first show tomorrow around 10 a.m. We'll get those two going at it. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm like, you got to give props to Jay Quest because since this tournament started, he has truly been in it to win it. You know, we saw Castro yesterday get on a bike. Jayquest is doing whatever it takes to win as well.
Oh, shit.
God. So good. And really, this rise of Jayquest, I mean, last year, he gave us some great Knoble prank calls. I think a lot of people maybe forgot about that. But Jayquest has been a huge part of this community. He doesn't call a ton, but his calls are always memorable. And then you have Bobby, who I would say is probably the ultimate volume shooter in terms of calls. He's like Cal Ripken as far as consistency on the show. So that's a great battle tomorrow. And we've already seen one seed go down. Cheech fan went down as the first 1 seed out of this tournament. He went down yesterday. So Bobby's in action tomorrow. And if you look ahead to the Sweet 16 or the round of 32 matchup, Lane's facing Rick Kent. I said coming into this tournament, or coming into this round of the tournament, that I thought that Cheech fan and Bobby were on upset alert. And we knocked out Cheech fan, so credit to him. I think Jayquest has got a shot at it. Wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world if that happened. Going to be wild. All right, before we get to your last remaining calls, reminder, raffle entries being accepted. Revis helmet, Rex helmet, Scott jersey signs, Holmes helmet, Cromartie helmet, Mangled jersey. All you need to do is get the membership, and you're in the Asmaniac raffle. Gator actually just sent me raffle music that I will be playing this week. So we're updating the production of the Asmaniac raffle. All right, couple super chats here. Then we'll get back to your calls. Craig wants to know, can Purple Belt Mike recreate the moment that Hulk Hogan turned heel? Mike, you tell me if you can recreate that moment. What do you think, Mike?
I don't know. I don't know wrestling. I don't know what that means, really. Is that like the John Cena thing where he was a good guy and then he kicked some guy in the nuts and became a bad guy?
Well, that's when Cena went heel.
So do you want me to kick David T in the nuts? I don't want to do that. Is that what that means? I don't want to do that.
Well, you know what? I have a guy who could explain exactly what that means. Beast, can you break down what this means?
From 1996, this happened at Bash at the Beach in Daytona Beach, Florida. Hogan came in the ring while Savage was down. Hogan dropped the leg. Bobby Heenan said, Hulk Hogan has turned on WCW. As a matter of fact, I have that right in my roster there. You know, that's funny because now that you mentioned that, I own that match, and that's when Hulk Hogan said, "You fans can stick it, brother." That's when him, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash made the NWO. And the NWO was a start. Okay, that was the building force. But then, as time went on, they added Eric Bischoff. They added Ted DiBiase, the Giant, all the crazies. I'll tell you, the NWO and WCW back then was a hot commodity. See, 1996 was a year of excellence. See, I'm gonna run it by you.
I'm still confused. What happened? I don't get it.
Would you silence, or should I do one of these?
Yeah, I don't think Mike's going to be able to do that. But Beast, I appreciate the history lesson there. Well said. Rye the General. Is Sauce going to get exposed this year if Wilkes runs more man coverage with arguably less defensive line presence, or does he step up and live up to the hype? I think Sauce will be better in man. I'm excited to watch Glenn and Wilkes coach him up there. Sauce graded out as one of the 5 best corners in man coverage this past year. I'm not really worried about him in man. Big Fella checks in. If you watch the show back on pause, the newspaper for part of the story, vote Big Fella and watch for the Discord post soon. Thank you all. Love you guys. Big Fella knows he's got an uphill battle on the campaign trail to try and take down Charles Gorman. Sam with a super chat. Warren has one good season. We all want him. Or are we kidding? I mean, it wasn't just one good season. It was an incredible year. And it's not just we as Jeff fans that want him. This draft class is very unique. We don't have like a consensus of the top players like we have in other years. Warren, to me, is one of the few players that, and basically any expert who studies this for a living, will have as one of the 5 best players in the class. The other players like that are Hunter, Abdul Carter, and probably Genty but he's a running back. So there's a debate. How high can you take a running back? That's the difference. Maddie says, I guarantee Jake wouldn't be able to smell 4 wins if they kept Rodgers. Total clown. Yeah, no shit, dumbass. They would have a better quarterback, so I'd feel better about their chances of winning. And once again, it's not just about Rodgers. For all you people too stupid to fathom what getting rid of Aaron Rodgers meant. It means you have no Devontae Adams either. We have no receivers right now. None. Like, it's not just about Aaron Rodgers. It's looking at the totality of what they need for 1 year, a bridge quarterback, and what it would mean to have Garrett and Devontae for a full year with a real offense for running. Being able to run the football better, so you don't need to ask Aaron Rodgers to do as much. That was the whole point. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't be able to smell 4 wins. I wouldn't even tell you that they'd be a playoff team. We'd have a better chance at it, though. That was my point. Not that I think Rodgers is great and he's amazing. I think most people all agreed he was the best option out there, right? That was the point. And the same people who got rid of Rodgers now are complaining when they signed Fields. Well, it's like, yeah, what did you think? What did you think this team was going to do at quarterback if they moved away from Aaron Rodgers? You're not getting someone better. That was the point. So, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't be saying I smell 4 wins. I'd be saying I don't know if this team's a playoff team, but at least I could picture it. I mean, what a dumbass, man. I got to stop reacting to these people. I won't because I can't control myself, but I got to stop. Australian Jet fan is on the line. We've already had one Australian call in, and now we have an Australian Jet fan who's based in Finland. Hello, sir.
I've had a lot to take in. I've written down a few notes here. All right? I'll try to get through a few of them pretty quickly. So first, we know that Charles is currently on the hunt for a woman, right? So I reckon that might mean that he's going to take a break from fighting on the show. And I did hear a stat. I can't remember if this is correct or not, but Tim Boyle has never won a game in his professional football career, not in college, not in NFL. He's never won a game starting at quarterback.
I don't know about college, but I do know he's never won a game in the NFL as the starter, I don't believe.
Also, the big fella's intro needs a little volume decrease, in my opinion. That blew my ear up with my AirPod in. Gave me a bit of a jump scare.
Hey, Gator, give me a volume reduction for the Australian Jet fan. Hold on, Australian Jet fan. You're back. StreamYard's still glitching.
Okay, yeah. And I would love to see.
Hold on 1 second.
That sounds a bit better, yeah.
Just kidding. Or am I?
His home smell is on the bed. That's what feels good. All the road smell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. Cause the show smell is on the bed. It's just more comfortable. He got a beard. Loves the jets. Super chats. Well, the big fella sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. Where's the big fella?
Hey, man.
Big fella?
Not much, man. What's going on? I'm just working on the next portion of the story. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Working on going against Charles, man. He's a tough competitor. I'm telling you that.
Speaking of Asmaniac Madness as well, the current matchup we have, Purple Belt Mike, I 100% agree with what he said, that dancing is just 90% confidence. You know, like you see someone on the floor, even if you look at him and think, oh, what are they doing? You know, you'll probably still vibe with it. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, and the break dancing, I have to be honest, it did look kind of goofy, but for someone who has done break dancing, I know that it was just the camera angle not doing it justice, because Purple Belt Mike can move. I'm telling you that right now.
Break dancing is tough.
He does have to work on his Batman voice.
Well, we'll see about that, man. There's only one Dark Knight, you know, so we'll see. But yeah, he did good. I mean, you got to be really like in shape to do breakdancing. I mean, breakdancing takes a lot of coordination, a lot of core strength. So if he can still do that, God bless him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't been able to breakdance since I had surgery. So
what happened?
I had my appendix taken out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that could be tough on the core too, because you know
Yeah,
it's right
no,
there.
100%. Yeah, no.
So you're in Finland, right?
Yes.
You like it over there?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. My wife is from Russia, and you know it was right close to Finland. And when I was in Russia, you could actually see across the sea, and you could see the coast of Finland. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, it is. Obviously, there's no traveling in between the countries at the moment, but
Yeah,
they are right
obviously.
next to each other.
Yeah.
But onto more important things. I reckon it's time to get this show back on track. Talking about the Jets, right?
Yes, sir.
I know that Muji and Glenn have made it sound like they want to win, but let's be real, that's not the case. You look at the moves they're making, they're not making win now moves. Like, I don't think they're lying. I don't think they're lying when they say that they want to win now, because I do think that they're going to try and get the best out of the roster we have. But I think it's pretty obvious that they're going to keep going to the draft to get this talent rather than try and sign it in free agency and, waste it, because, like we see Joe Douglas failed the organization through the draft. He hit on a lot of first round picks, but those other guys he picked up as well, like throughout the middle of the draft, like hasn't really done us any favors. It's kind of left us stuck.
Yeah,
we've seen.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you with that. The reason why they're saying that, we're into winter right now, no one's going to show up, and their boss needs to make money. So,
it's
that's probably one of the reasons.
It's identical with the Bombers. The Jets haven't made the playoffs in 15 years. The Bombers haven't won a final in 25 years, some 26 years in a couple of days. Pretty ridiculous. But you see similarities in recent times, that their fans are both so frustrated because obviously, like, that's not what they want to hear after losing for so long, that they're not in to win, right? They've both failed on draft picks the past couple of years, and even though they've shown signs of competitiveness, they just really haven't been all there. Like, you look, they drafted, had 3 first-round picks, drafted Cox, Perkins, Reed, then Sardis and Hobbs years after, and they haven't really panned out. It's only really recently that that they've hit, but they still need to build around these players that they have.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, we're a young team. We gotta, we have to trust in the coaches and the GM. Thank God, a lot of the scouts that we had are gone now, and we can actually pick some good players, because in Denver picked up a lot of good players, through the draft, and they were a young team. That's why they got rid of Russell Wilson, because they wanted to go the young route, and they hit on Bo Nix. So. I hope we could replicate that. And JJ, one sec. And JJ, I smoked your ass. You can go to sleep now. Night, buddy. Now, anyway,
I think that the Jets, the goal is to ultimately win a Super Bowl, right? And I think that up top, the Jets know that with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, even though we're in a better spot to win more games than we are without them, they're not going to win us a Super Bowl. So I think
Now look what you've done. Hawk, no more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Well, I thought that was for me, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely got a shock. Like, look, I am a Zach Wilson believer, but even I know that he was shit when he played for us.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It was obvious. It honestly baffles me. Everyone's calling Rodgers washed. Like, the man had no coaching, he had no defense, and he had Greg Zuerlein as his kicker. And
he's 41, so
like he really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But like I said, they know that they're not going to win a Super Bowl. So instead of wasting another year with them, they're just trying to accelerate this rebuild. Let's be real. You know, they'll pick up Tyler Warren. They signed Fields. No better. There's no better quarterback option really. So they've done the best they can. But all this now is just really to have some sort of team while they go through the draft and build the actual team that is going to take us somewhere else than the shithole we've been in.
That's true. That's true. No, we got to look. We're all Jet fans. We got to deal with it. Eventually, you know, we're going to be good. At least that's how I feel about it. You just have to trust what's going on right now. That's all. Oh God, JJ. By the way, if you weren't talking to me, I apologize, but that's how I took it. So I'm sorry, buddy.
Look, man, JJ's out here hating, and he has definitely lost a vote. So I don't know what his goal is. So
JJ's great. JJ's just, I don't know. JJ's a good guy. Let's just say that.
Yeah, Jake is missing. I also wanted to say something to you, Jake. I'd love to see in the next edition of ASMANIAC Madness some sort of lifeline, some sort of change to the bracket system where someone that's out could come back and get a lifeline. I reckon that could be pretty cool.
How would that? Wait a second.
I don't know how it would work.
How would that work though?
Look, you got a year to figure it out. I'll get to the whiteboard later if you need me to, but we got a year to figure it out because I just don't think where there's a world where Robert C can be out in the first round and that can be okay.
I mean, look, there are some tough matchups here. I mean, there's no easy way to seed the field of 64.
Can I give you a story about Robert C? The other day, I'm chatting with Robert C over at on Nick's show, and we were talking about Wayne Corbett, and I said, "Oh, he went to Garfield High School," and he goes, and he types to me, I'm thinking in his voice, okay? He goes, "Did they name that after a cat?" Right? I go, "No, it was a president." And Tammy goes, "Oh, that Robert C." It was the funniest thing. She goes, "That's Robert C for you." It was so funny, dude.
There's a reason I'm a fan.
He's Australian Jet fan. Great call.
Thank you.
I will consider your March Madness as Maniac Madness idea. It's just tough because this tournament is based off of March Madness, which is single elimination. That's what makes it so special.
I mean, it's just a little idea I had. I'm sorry for the yap session. I've been holding this in for a while. Been excited. So much to go over. But yeah, we'll get through this season. But Jets fans, something's building. I can smell it.
Australian Jet fan, you're the man, brother.
Good call, Australian Jet fan.
Thanks
Sorry about your ears.
I'll be voting for you.
I will make sure that we get the volume on the big fella Billy's on the bed video a little lower. All right.
I didn't even know I was on, bro. I was working on the phone. I see I'm on the screen. Now I know how Beastbreaker feels. So
Sarah didn't know she was on either, right, Sarah?
What's up, Sarah?
Yeah, right. Damn you. I hate when I'm full screen. I hate it. I hate it. Hate it.
How's Hawk doing in the hole?
Well, bring him back.
Don't say
Come on,
that.
Jakey boy.
Don't say that.
Bring him back.
Oh, yeah, that's
Don't say that, Jake.
You know what? Normally I would have to play that for Bobby, not you, big fella. I didn't think you would stoop to that level.
Well, let me tell you, man. I've been hanging around you
my
guys
brain.
for too long.
I'm supposed to know the difference between a woman and a male's brain. Seriously, I did not even think that until you said something, big fella, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, that's gross." Don't say that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Anyway.
This is for the big fella and all of you sickos.
I like good-looking chicks in that thing. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh yeah, hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man. What a performance today by big fella. Sarah is becoming a regular on the show, dare I say. Sarah's called in more in the last 3 weeks than in the last year combined. Incredible. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're wrapping up the show shortly here. Last chance to vote, 52-48. I'm going to give both PBM and David T one last chance, and then we're ending the show because I have dinner at 8:15 tonight. PBM, make your final pitch to the people.
Guys, vote for me. I don't know what's next in the next round. I have to come up with something else to make you guys laugh. Hopefully you enjoyed, seeing Eddie Munson and the Batman. But just know, if I go through, you might see the Joker. You might see Harley Quinn. You might see a lot of things. You might see Wonder Woman. My wife right now is away, but she's cosplayed as a lot of things. So if you want to see it, it could happen.
Look at you trying to get the simps of the chat to give you some votes.
If you want to see it, there could be whatever. So, let's do it, baby. Vote for me, baby. Vote for me. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Purple Belt Mike. We check in for the last time this show with the great David T. David, your pitch to the people.
Well, a funny thing happened to me today. I went up to get the mail and I came back. And my uncle always taught me, always walk with your head down. You never know what you're going to find. So I found a penny, and we were brought up, see a penny, pick it up, and all the day you'll have good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, David T.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? Yes, Maniac Madness. You get to pick the ones that make the show rock. I'm legit, original.
David T., you were one of one. John writes in, now I want to switch my vote for David T. Well, Mike already has your vote. Some people, the reason why we do the final pitches is because we've learned through doing this now. A lot of people wait to the very end of the show to decide on some of these that have been tight. So if you've waited to cast your vote, if you've been here for 2 hours and 20 minutes, God bless you. But ladies and gentlemen, this show is over. And it's time to officially declare a winner. And that winner is David T., the 2 seed, holds on and takes down the 7 seed, Purple Belt Mike, who put forth one of the great performances you'll see in this tournament. I mean, the effort that people have made to make this fun is incredible. I mean, we wouldn't be able to spend so much time on this if people weren't enjoying it. But I've noticed when I've done Asmaniac Madness stuff, the viewership in show has spiked compared to the Jet Talk, which is crazy. Kind of speaks volumes about where the Jets are right now, but also about how great this audience is. It's official, though. Here's the official results. It was tight. Mike, great battle. 51-48, 622 votes that were cast here. That is a good battle. Real good battle. Congrats to David T. He's moving on. And that sets the stage for tomorrow's opening Butter Region matchup inside our round of 32. Bobby Midnight and Jayquest. Remember, Jayquest was just excited to make StreamYard is still glitching. Australian Jet fan, you're not actually on the air. You're good. Remember, like this all started when we did the Selection Sunday show. Jayquest wasn't sure if he was going to get in, and then he heard his name called, and the rest is history.
Guys, I'm really nervous. I don't know what's going to happen if I don't get in.
We might lose the house. Again.
I know. It's going to be the third time, but let's just see. It's about to come on. Let's see what happens. Look at the screen. Look, it's about to come on. 3, 2. Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We're in! We're in! Let's go! We're in, baby! We're in! Woo! Ronaldo's in the house! Yeah, Jake!
Jayquest is in. He won a round, and tomorrow he tries to take down the number 1 seed, Bobby Midnight. Man, Gonna be a battle. Thank you to everyone who watched. Awesome shows today. You guys are great. Neil and Nene in the morning was a classic. So you guys are great. Quick reminder, please get your draft ticket if you haven't. When it sells out and people are like, but I wanted a ticket, I'm going to say you've had over a month to get it. So if you're going to make it, get your spot locked in today. The link to do so is in the description. We got the raffle coming up on Friday. So tomorrow, since I'm only doing one show, is the last show to be entered in the ASMANIAC raffle. So be ready for that. Thank you all for watching. Congrats again to David T. My name is Jake Asman. This has been another Jake Asman Show. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Again, go Jets, and hopefully better days are ahead.
He's from the West Coast, the golden blonde beauty. Can't live without him. This guy makes me freaky. Aaron, the quarterback, is everyone's sweetie. If he leaves his girlfriend, he'll be my next beefy. Aaron.
Let's go! Yeah! I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them. Jets, Jets!
You're a degenerate gambler, and you're in your mid-50s. Who bets on the Jets? Have you not learned anything about betting? The Jets are going to come back! No, they're not! They're never going to come back! They're never going to come back!
Hey, Bills Mafia! You're in the wrong stadium, you friggin' a-hole!
You guys football fans? I think the Pats could take the conference this year. I mean, the Dolphins are overrated and the Jets are choke artists.
I wouldn't say that, Mr. Deeds.
Why is that, though?
You own the Jets, Deeds.
I do? Whoa. That sucks.
You think that scares me? I'm not scared of you, you pansy. Yeah, I'll put my whole fist through your face, you friggin' a-hole.
Hey, keep moving, you hump!
Who do you want to win? The goddamn Jets.